This is a live presentation of the Ticats Audio Network. Are you ready? Ticats football is on the air.
Touchdown, Tiger Cats! Caught it! It's a touchdown!
Number 17, Luke Tasker, what a catch!
Now the voice of the Tiger Cats. Here is RJ Broadhead with analyst Luke Tasker.
Good afternoon. Great to have you with us on the Ticats Audio Network. It is the playoffs, the second season. The season's on the line in Montreal. The Tiger Cats started 3-9 and then put things together with 4 straight wins, 5-1 in the final 6 games, and clinched that third spot in the East Division and the right to play in the East semifinal in Montreal against the Alouettes. Luke Tasker, one thing we know for sure on a beautiful day in Montreal, about 18 degrees. It is going to be a little bit gusty, but the 3 previous meetings between these two teams have been so close. The statistics are so close that we're probably going to have a fantastic East semifinal.
I think so. I think both of these teams, you could argue, deserve a victory to go to the Eastern Final. They've both overcome adversity throughout the season. Montreal earning their home playoff game, and Hamilton battling back in the last third of the season with an unbelievable 5-1 record to end the regular season and to have a chance to come here for today in Montreal. Both teams have just progressed upward in all categories as the season's progressed. Quarterback play, record, their turnover ratios, they've just been getting better and better, and we are in for a good one, RJ. 1 point difference across 3 matchups in the regular season. And it went 2-1 in Montreal's favor, and 1 game difference in the record. So that 1 point, that was 1 game.
Crazy.
Put this game in Montreal instead of at Tim Hortons Field, and here we are with a great one ahead of us.
Well, Montreal started 2-6. They finished 7-3 in their final 10 games. So both teams playing some fantastic football. The last loss for the Tiger Cats, September 23rd in Montreal. The last home win for Montreal, September 23rd against the Tiger Cats. We will be back with a coin toss and kickoff in the East semifinal in moments. You're listening to the Ticats Audio Network. Montreal, Molson Stadium, the site for the Eastern semifinal between the Tiger Cats and the Alouettes. These two teams met last year at Tim Hortons Field in the East semifinal. Tiger Cats won that 23-12 for the right to go on to the East final. And, of course, the Argos are awaiting the winner of this game. They'll be watching intently to see whether it's the Tiger Cats or the Alouettes who advance this afternoon. And you really can't beat the weather on a November the 6th day in Montreal. Last year in the East semifinal, 0 degrees and snowing in Hamilton. Today, 18 degrees, maybe some light rain and a wind that could be gusting up to 30 to 40 kilometers per hour, but a beautiful November day for the East semifinal, and so much on the line. These two teams separated by just 2 points in the regular season. Do you feel a road team in the CFL, even though the Tiger Cats did struggle, Luke, as far as the road record, but road teams were so good that is it an advantage being at home in the playoffs?
Well, I think you got to give Montreal credit, and it's going to be an advantage at home. But Hamilton, and only recently, in the last month, has started winning games on the road. They've started doing that, and they didn't earlier in the year. So I think Hamilton has every right to if they play the right way, to come out on top.
So Montreal has lost 2 in a row, and at home, the Tiger Cats have won 2 in a row on the road. The coin toss, Tim Croker's the referee. Let's have a listen.
It is ahead. Montreal has won the toss and want the football in the first half. Where would you like to kick from? You want to flip it? Flip sides, please, men. Montreal has won the toss and will receive in the first half.
All right.
Great game, men.
So Montreal gets the ball to begin the Eastern semifinal. Not a bad situation for the Tiger Cats because their strength has been defense all season long.
Yep, and they'll come out in the second half and have their choice to, we'll see how, if this wind continues to be what is probably not much of a factor. If it keeps that way, they'll be able to start the second half off. But yeah, the Ticat defense gets to take the field. And in week 21, that last, meaningless game in Ottawa, the Ticat defense looked a little different. And so now you're starting guys the impressive lineup, an impressive 12 men here are going to take the field for a unit that I've really enjoyed watching this year.
A statistic, Luke, you and I have both been keeping track of. Tiger Cats lead the league in defensive 2-and-outs, so 2-and-outs forced. But it'll be a good matchup because Montreal has the second fewest 2-and-outs on offense. So the strength of the defense against the strength of the offense, and we're going to see it head-to-head right off the top of this game.
I love it. And one of the storylines in my head right now that I'm excited to watch here is the quarterback play on both sides, but for very different reasons. For the Alouettes, Trevor Harris is the best statistically playoff quarterback in some categories in CFL history. I mean, he's an impressive quarterback in the postseason. And so we'll see what he's going to do here at home against a team that he has played well against, the Ticats this year. And he's coming off 2 weeks ago his best passing game of the season, where he passed for 400+ yards in the last game he participated in the regular season. Yep. On the other side of the field, of course, we've got the Dane Evans, Matt Schultz, additive play in that quarterback position. And so the quarterback play for both teams, very, very excited to see who's going to make a stronger impact for their team.
Trevor Harris in 3 games averaging 305 passing yards. He has 6 touchdowns and 1 interception against the Tiger Cats this season. Tiger Cats kicking off. Seth Small begins this Eastern semifinal, and the dangerous Chandler Worthy picks it up inside his own 10. Running outside the numbers, he's up to the 30, the 35, the 40, the 45, up to the 50, and it's Seth Small who makes the tackle just before midfield, forcing Chandler Worthy out of bounds. But great return by Worthy, and that is no doubt something the Tiger Cats were keying on in practice, and Worthy still got a big return. Yep,
you're right. Across center line to start the game off. You can't ask for more from a returner. That's amazing. 1,862 all-purpose yards for Chandler Worthy on the season. He's had an unbelievable year, and boy, that's a way to make your presence known in the playoffs quick.
49-yard return for Worthy, and that puts Montreal right at midfield. The handoff a little off to the right. It's William Stanback, and he'll get a couple of yards.
And there's that Hamilton run stop. One yard gained, and just a gang tackle there led by Ted Laurent right in the middle. Boy, that Chandler Worthy return, it's like he stayed in an alley 3 yards wide directly down the field. I mean, he went vertical, didn't lose any ground, and just zigzagged his way for that huge return. This is a big second down for the Ticat defense.
Yeah, 2nd and 9 from the Hamilton 53, trying for that 2-and-out. Montreal has had the second fewest 2-and-outs on offense. Trevor Harris looks to his left, throws to his left, completes it across the Hamilton 45. It's Jake Winicky, who is the second leading receiver in the lineup for the Alouettes this afternoon, 25th in the league. Of course, Eugene Lewis, number 1, but Winicky's going to see a lot of footballs today.
Good reception there, and that was just a little hitch route right at the sticks, and Trevor Harris found him very easily, very quickly there to convert the first down.
Alouettes in good shape on this opening drive thanks to a 49-yard kickoff return by Chandler Worthy. Fresh set of downs for the Alouettes. They're on the Hamilton 42-yard line. Trevor Harris, empty backfield, throws over the middle, and it is complete to a wide open Eugene Lewis. He had to go low to make the catch, and the Tiger Cats having troubles bringing him down. He broke a couple of tackles. Finally, Tunde Adeleke takes Eugene Lewis to the turf, but not until he gets another Montreal first down.
Well, great route by Eugene Lewis. Broke off of the man coverage, and a really rare missed tackle by Tunde Adeleke, who was in coverage there, and Eugene Lewis regains his feet and then spins out of it for an extra 5-10 yards. Boy, impressive catch and run.
Montreal definitely in scoring range now. On the Hamilton 19-yard line. High snap for Harris, swings it off to the left, and it's caught out of the backfield. Walter Fletcher will get about halfway to another first down.
Well, they started this drive off across center line with a run for a 1-yard gain, and since then Trevor Harris has gone 3 for 3, and two passes, letting his guys catch it low and get gains, and then the explosive there to Eugene Lewis. But that's his This is Trevor Harris in the playoffs, man. He's just operating and playing really clean here in this first drive.
It's 2nd and 4 from the Hamilton 13. Opening drive of the Eastern semifinal. Montreal got the ball at midfield thanks to that big return from Chandler Worthy. Harris looking end zone. It's a touchdown for the Alouettes. Jake Winicky. The Alouettes near perfect on this first possession. It's a touchdown, and the Alouettes have an early lead.
Boy, near perfect is right. They had a little taste of the run game, and the Hamilton defense did what it does there. But that was just, then Trevor Harris just picked it apart for 50 yards, marching down the field. Really beautiful execution. That was cover 0. And Jake Winicky just gets the shoulder to the outside on his out route to Trevor Harris's right side, right into the end zone there, and just a really nicely operated drive.
Jake Winicky led the CFL in touchdowns last season. This season he had just 2. He's already got one in the postseason. David Cote steps up and he puts it just inside that right upright. So it is a 7-0 lead for the Alouettes. The Tiger Cats will get the ball for the first time in this football game when we come back. Good start for the Alouettes. Can the Ticats answer? It's 7-0 Montreal. We'll be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. Beautiful day, November 6th in Montreal. Eastern semifinal. Alouettes lead the Tiger Cats 7-0, and there's only been one possession so far, so Alouettes capitalized. It's the first quarter touchdown the Tiger Cats have allowed in 3 games. Hamilton has allowed the fewest points this season in the opening. We'll see if the Tiger Cats can get a return. Lawrence Woods, he's up near the 40. It'll be a special teams battle all day long, and so far it's leaning Montreal's way. Chandler Worthy got the great return. This time Lawrence Woods just a little short of the 40.
Yeah, it's still not horrible, right? I mean, that's a decent return to get up there to the 38. And Dane Evans taking the field to see if they can answer that impressive drive from Montreal. You got to... The final play of that drive for the touchdown, Trevor Harris recognizes cover 0, and he got the ball out of his hands before Jake Winicky was even in his break. I mean, he's seeing very clearly in front of him, and now it's Dane's turn.
This is the 19th game of the season for the Tiger Cats. That's the 8th touchdown they've allowed in the first quarter. Dane Evans on the field, throws deep over the middle. It's caught by Tim White. He's right in midfield in a sea of Alouettes, and he'll dive forward into Montreal territory. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling with an active Green and Ross. First down and a big first play of the game on offense.
Really well done. Nicely done by Dane. Dropped it in the pocket, stayed calm. Montreal Alouettes did bring the blitz, and it was Tim White on a dig route from the left who caught it and put the brakes on really nice too, to spin away from the tackle.
There is an Alouette down on the field inside the Hamilton 35-yard line. It's Thomas Costigan. He's being looked at by the Montreal training staff.
Nice. I mean, answer right back after that drive from Montreal with an explosive pass play. 23 yards or so Tim White gains there, 24, and he gets all the way into Alouette territory now with one play. I mean, this is, and of course, work still to be done if you want to get points for this drive, but the Ticats are making it happen here. That's exactly what Dane Evans needed to do to start this game off.
Montreal 5th in passing yards allowed. It's a good start for Dane Evans to Tim White. Tim White had the last game of the regular season off, so he's fresh. Dane Evans quickly throws to his right. It's again complete to Tim White. He's running outside the numbers, and he'll be just a little shy of the 40-yard line.
Little wide receiver screen there, and kind of that was, I kind of give that to Tim White. I mean, he caught the ball and kind of was in traffic right away, but he was able to scoot ahead for a couple yards to put this into a somewhat more reasonable second down situation here for his team.
Tim White second in the CFL during the regular season in yards after the catch. 6-yard gain, so a 2nd and 4 here for the Tiger Cats. They're in Montreal territory on the Alouette 43. Handoff goes to Sean Thomas Erlington, and he tries to dive ahead to get to that 40. He will not get there.
Looks to me like he might be 2 yards shy, and now you've got a decision to make. And there you go.
An early decision.
Seth Small will have a chance here.
Seth Small, an East Division All-Star. What a rookie season. He's the Tiger Cats nominee for Most Outstanding Special Teams Player, Most Outstanding Rookie. And he has made 8 straight. Set a Hamilton Tiger Cats franchise record, kicking 90.7% of his field goals. And this one is a 47-yard attempt. It matches the number on Small's back. The snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is perfect. Seth Small, reliable as ever. His first playoff field goal, his 40th field goal as a Tiger Cat, and that puts Hamilton on the board. It's 7-3. Montreal leading. Both teams score on their opening possessions. Montreal will get the ball back when we come back on the Ticats Audio Network. Coach Joe knows there's a little work to do before that parade, and it is the Alouettes with a lead in the opening quarter of the Eastern semifinals. Scored a touchdown on their opening drive, and here they are with the ball again. Trevor Harris throws to his right. It's complete to Keon Julian Grant, and he'll have it up close to the Montreal 45, maybe the 46. Last week against Toronto, the Alouettes started the game with touchdowns on their first 3 drives. They scored a touchdown on their first drive today against Hamilton, so that's pretty good starts for the Alouettes of late. 7-3 is the lead for Montreal. They've got the ball at the 45. It's 2nd and 5. Trevor Harris with an empty backfield. The waggle begins. Harris takes one step back, stays in the pocket, and it's a pass intended for Jake Winicky, and Jovan Santos knocks it down. The first incompletion of the game for Harris.
Yeah, a little miscommunication. Actually, I'm not sure if he was going to Winicky or to Eugene Lewis running behind him. They sort of had a mesh concept over the middle. Yeah, it's strange. Jake Winicky certainly did not think the ball was for him, it looked like, right? But that was a break for the Ticats, because really that should have been a completion and it would have been a first down. Now this is the first punt that we'll see of the game.
First 2 and out. The Tiger Cats defense led the league in forcing 2 and outs, and they recover nicely after allowing a touchdown on the opening drive for Montreal. So a 4-point lead for the Alouettes. Joseph Zima kicks off to his right. It's a short punt. Lawrence Woods lets it bounce, and he's bobbled it, but there's flags flying. Tyrese Beverett has it for Montreal, and now the Tiger Cats can only hope that this flag is no yards.
Well, it has to be no yards. I think, there was body contact at that punt, so this will be 15 yards ahead for the Ticats.
And that's the good news. Dane Evans and the offense coming back on the field, trailing 7-3. We will be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. Montreal, the site for the East semifinal. The Alouettes scored a touchdown on their opening drive, and the Tiger Cats managed a field goal on their opening drive. Defense came up big for the Tiger Cats. Now Dane Evans is back on the field. Tiger Cats in white tops, black pants, black helmets. The Alouettes, blue tops, navy blue bottoms, and the red socks and trim. Pretty good field position after the no yards. Tiger Cats up to their own 35. Dane Evans hands it off to Wes Hills. He's running to his left, cuts up the middle, now back to his left, and he will barrel across the 35-yard line. Tyrese Beverett, who's had a good year for the Alouettes, former Tiger Cat, celebrating with the tackle.
Full big body personnel in the game. That was a 3-receiver set, double tight ends, and they were setting it up for the Wes Hills handoff, and that's not going to be the last time they give him a chance, but great job by the Alouettes defense there, not giving up much for that heavy loaded up run attempt.
Wes Hills, the Tiger Cats' leading rusher this season. Empty backfield for this 2nd and 8. Tiger Cats on their own 37, and Dane Evans changing the play. 3 receivers to his right. That's the wide side of the field, and a big mix-up here for the Tiger Cats. The ball was not snapped, and the receivers were way offside.
It's like every receiver.
Hamilton, number 69. 5-yard penalty. It remains 2nd down.
Every receiver seemed to jump off sides there. There's the miscommunication. They had already ran sort of the fake waggle to the front to reset your snap count and get an ID the defense, but whatever, for some reason on different pages there across the board, that was going to be a cover 0 from Montreal with all 5 wides out there, so we'll see what they can dial up now.
Fans are loud in Montreal. 2nd and 13 now. Tiger Cats push back to their own 32-yard line. Waggle on the right side. The lone receiver on the left was Stephen Dunbar. The pass goes his direction. It's a little high, and he can't come up with it. It's incomplete, and we're going to see the rookie, Blake Hayes, on to punt for the Tiger Cats.
Yeah, a little 5-yard Oscar route from Dunbar, but even if that was a catch, that was not going to be a first down there, and the Ticats just need a little time, breathing time, and to find some rhythm, but you cannot set yourself back with a penalty in that situation.
Blake Hayes, Australian kicker. He made his CFL debut last week in the final regular season game. He's a left-footed punter, and he sends that off to the right, the opposite side of where Chandler Worthy was. It bounces a couple of times, gets it inside the 25, and he runs to his right, back to his left, and he'll get it up to about the Montreal 29-yard line. So better tackling on Chandler Worthy that time, and Montreal back on the field. They lead the Tiger Cats in the Eastern semifinal in the first quarter, 7-3. You're listening to the Ticats Audio Network.
This week on the Ticats Audio Network.
The best players that I've been around are mainly self-motivated. Our job is to find out what it is and make sure that I keep it ignited.
Orlando Steinauer on getting his players ready for the Eastern semifinal today, as heard this week on the Coach O Show with Luke Tasker on the Ticats Audio Network. Have a question for Coach O? Email gameday@ticats.ca. Luke Tasker also sitting beside me for this Eastern semifinal. So a lot of hats being worn on the Ticats Audio Network for you.
Professional broadcaster now, man. Come on.
Hey, you're a pro at
Just
everything.
another day in the office.
Great pro on the field, great pro off the field. 7-3. Alouettes lead the Tiger Cats. Just over 6 minutes to go in the opening quarter. About 18 degrees in Montreal, wind gusting. Has not been a factor so far. Seth Small has kicked a 47-yard field goal. Here's a handoff, and running to the right just across the 30-yard line.
I love when we can hear Simone Lawrence's, scream of excitement coming through our field sound pickup there. That's great, and he was one of the many Ticats in on that tackle for a short gain from Montreal.
It was William Stanback, 4-yard gain. That's Stanback's first carry of the game. Walter Fletcher also has a carry for 1 yard. Jeshrin Antwi, the third running back for Montreal, was their leading rusher this season, 5th in the league. He has not had a carry yet. 2nd and 6. Montreal on their own 33. Trevor Harris back to pass, throws to the left, and hits Jake Winicky on the run. He's battling against Richard Leonard, one-on-one on that far sideline, and Leonard brings him down, but it will be a 17-yard gain, and Jake Winicky has been the favorite receiver so far for Trevor Harris.
He's got the touchdown, and he also has 2 crucial first down pickups there. On the first drive of the game, he had a little curl to keep the chains moving for their first time. And then that right there is a nice pickup on 2nd and 8. Like you said, 17 yards, and he was battling for an extra 5-6 yards there as well. They're making it happen as they move down the field here.
Winicky, 3 catches for 41 yards and that touchdown that you mentioned, Luke. So a fresh set of downs. Montreal up to their own 50-yard line. Trevor Harris fakes the handoff to Stanback and tosses to Walter Fletcher, who was also in there. So a couple of running backs in there for Montreal, but not much for Fletcher after he caught that football, maybe a couple of yards.
Yeah, interesting play there. The Ticats had a 3-down defensive look, and as they set up the screen, there was just too many Ticats still right there to make the play right at the line of scrimmage.
A 1-yard gain for Fletcher, so it's a 2nd and 9 for the Alouettes on their own 51-yard line. Not a lot of pressure on Trevor Harris so far. There's quite a few sacks on this defensive line for the Tiger Cats, but he's getting rid of the ball. He's going deep again. It's caught by Eugene Lewis. It looked like great coverage by Ciante Evans, but Lewis hunts the Tiger Cats again. He's inside the 30-yard line with that catch, but there is a flag.
You're right. Ciante Evans was not in bad position here. It was man coverage. As he got depth, he sort of got tied up with his back to the quarterback and couldn't make a great play on the ball.
Hamilton, number 7. The penalty is declined as it is a first down.
Tim Croker, the referee.
I'm not really sure about the call anyways, but it doesn't matter with Eugene Lewis making what was a really, really great catch.
Just under 4 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Eugene Lewis, he has had big games against the Tiger Cats many, many times over the years, and that is a massive play. Play action, and it's thrown to Tyson Philpott. He's speedy, number 81 for the Alouettes, and he will take it across the 20-yard line.
On each drive, they've run some version of an outside screen, wide receiver, running back, but outside of the box. And I'm impressed with Montreal's wide receiver blocking on the outside. They are springing those for 5 yards at least each time. And if you can do that and make hay on those outside screens, that's great, because when they're not working, they're actually pretty costly. It's easy to lose some yards on plays like that, but these wide receivers are working on the outside.
Trevor Harris, 9 for 10, 115 yards and a touchdown already, and make it 10 for 11. That's another completion to Jake Winicky, and he's inside the Hamilton 10.
You know what you get when you block really well as a wide receiver for screens? You get rewarded right there, where they fake the screen, and you, Jake Winicky, blocking all this on every drive, then gets that little slant over the middle after the pump fake to the screen player. That's just good back and forth and play calling, you know, and ebbing and flowing with the concepts that are working with you.
Trevor Harris has been outstanding in this opening quarter. Only one incompletion, and he's got the Alouettes in a pretty good spot. First and goal from the Hamilton 8. Harris in the shotgun, hands off to Walter Fletcher, runs to his left and dives into the end zone. Fletcher with the touchdown, and Montreal adds to their lead. It's now 13-3 with a convert coming up.
Again, really impressive drive. Trevor Harris, it's not magic. He just knows how to control the flow of a game, and for some reason he does it great in the playoffs. And this is an impressive first half from him. He's really marching his team down the field. They've had one punt so far after what was kind of a wide receiver mistake that, you know, they would have kept the chains moving on that drive as well. And with the exception of that one punt, they've just marched it right down the field for 2 scores.
Trevor Harris in this first quarter, 10 for 11, 127 yards, 1 touchdown. He passed that to Jake Winicky. Walter Fletcher ran it in. Tim Croker, the referee. That scoring drive, 7 plays, 81 yards. Took almost 4 minutes. We're still in the first quarter of the Eastern semifinal, and Montreal has scored 2 touchdowns in this opening quarter, and that's significant because all regular season long,
automatic review by the command center is determined that they did not score. It is second down at the 1 yard line.
Okay, so let's rewind all of that. Command center took a look at that. It's not yet a touchdown, but they are close. It'll be second and goal from the Hamilton 1. Just to finish that thought, Tiger Cats allowed 7 touchdowns in the first quarter, all regular season long. Montreal already has 1 in the first quarter. They're close to getting another one. Walter Fletcher just down before the goal line, and coming in is Dominic Davis. He's under center. He has 13 touchdowns this season, keeps the legs moving, and that will be a playoff touchdown for Dominic Davis, so it only took 1 more play. Montreal does get their second touchdown of the opening quarter after the Tiger Cats allowed just 7 all regular season long in the first quarter.
Well, there's a couple things missing right now from the Ticats game plan. Trevor Harris is not getting pressured, and that is what the Ticat front 4 has done so well. Yes, they've done a great job on run stop, and they are doing that. But Trevor Harris is not getting pressured right now, and we're not seeing the breakups and the tight coverage in the secondary that we're used to as well. So, you know, they're going to start making their plays too, though, but you got to do it quick and keep this lead at bay.
23 sacks on that starting defensive line during the regular season for the Tiger Cats, but not any pressure on Trevor Harris so far, and David Cote steps up and makes the convert. It's 14-3 for the Alouettes, and we're late in the opening quarter in Montreal, and this is sort of Ticats football, isn't it, Luke? Never the easy way, and they've dug themselves a bit of a hole in the first quarter.
Yeah, they're going to have a little bit of an uphill battle to fight here, but they've done that before, and they've done it on the road, and they've shown that they can. So, like I said, you just got to you got to start finding that and fixing some of these little misses, earlier than later, because the far longer this lead gets, and the less time you have to fix it. And that's what you kind of expect nothing less, though. That they have done it. They've continued to do it, and even self-imposed errors or just success from their opponent, they've overcome both of those things. I don't want to harp on Trevor Harris, but the guy has 385 yards on average in his playoff games in his career, and he has the highest completion percentage of CFL quarterbacks, and boy, he's just doing it again.
Yeah, he's on pace to obliterate those numbers. Lawrence Woods on the punt return. The ball's come loose. It's back at the Hamilton 30, and Stavros Katsantonis. How aware was he? He spotted that loose ball and jumped on it, so Hamilton maintains possession thanks to a very heads-up play by Katsantonis to find the loose ball and pick it up. But a bad time for a fumble.
And we have not seen that frequently from Lawrence Woods. He has not been one to cough up the football this year and has made a number of huge returns, but fortunate for the Ticats to still have this ball in their hands. However, kind of a long field to go here. They're on the 26-yard line of their own side.
And down 14-3. There's a minute 20 to go in the opening quarter. Dane Evans, 2 for 3, 29 yards. He's back to pass. He has some time, and that time is disappearing. Alouette got some hands on him. He stayed on his feet, and he spotted Tim White. He's open. He's up to midfield, and somehow Dane Evans made something happen. Should have been sacked, stayed on his feet, and made a big play to Tim White. First down, presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
Wow, really impressive job by Dane. That makes me think back to Dane Evans of last year's playoff run and just some of the amazing plays he was making, but that could have been a tackle for a huge loss. And instead, he finds Tim White deep downfield.
Jamal Davis couldn't bring him down. 36-yard gain, and now the Tiger Cats are in Montreal territory on the Montreal 47-yard line.
Hamilton number 1. It's 5-yard penalty.
It's kind of inexcusable what's happening with these hurting themselves with penalties.
Yes.
Twice in the first quarter, they've got multiple players jumping offside. That's very unique. Like, it's one thing for a guy to have a mental error. It seems like for some reason there's a miscommunication, like multiple players are on different pages with snap counts.
You're not, the noise?
You can't, it could be, but it's rhythmic with Dane's arms. The noise, shouldn't have that great an effect for the snap count. We'll see, but you can't win playoff games and continue to do things like that.
1st and 15 now from the Montreal 52. Dane Evans back to pass in his wind-up. The ball's knocked loose. Sean Thomas Erlington dives for it. Now everybody's battling for it. Montreal saying they have the football. It's in the bottom of a pile of players. Sean Thomas Erlington looks like he's got some hands on it, but an Alouette does too. And this is a pivotal point in this football game. Dane Evans ready to pass. The ball knocked loose, and who has the football? It looks like Hamilton, as Tim Croker indicating it's going to be second down. So 2 fumbles on this play, or on this possession, and they get the ball back both times.
Second down, but it'll be a 15-yard loss there with the fumble, and it was really a really impressive forced fumble from Dane's hands there from the secondary blitz. Really well-timed. Tyrese Beverett coming from his will linebacker position, and it's an athletic play, RJ. Dane was in the process of getting ready to throw the ball downfield, but you got to hand it to Beverett, who made a timely blitz and fumble.
Hamilton was in Montreal territory. Now they are pushed back. Last play of the opening quarter. Dane Evans going deep to that far sideline. He completes it. It's Tim White again back into Montreal territory. A huge throw to his favorite target so far, Tim White. White's the only Tiger Cat to catch a pass so far in this game.
Well, he's had 3 beauties and catches and big plays. Each one of the 3 that are just been absolutely necessary, and that reception down the sidelines there after that loss of 15 on the fumble. That's a big-time player making big-time plays in this big game.
So, Dane Evans As the Tiger Cats on the move, we're done one quarter of the Eastern Final in Montreal. The Alouettes lead the Tiger Cats 14-3. We'll be back with the second quarter on the Ticats Audio Network. Through one quarter in Montreal of the Eastern semifinal, Alouettes 14-3 lead. Back in action here in the second quarter. It's a handoff to Sean Thomas Erlington. He went to the University of Montreal, wants to have a big game here, runs to the right. Pretty interesting when you look at the offense. That's a 2-yard gain. So all but 8 yards of offense have belonged to Tim White receiving. He has 95 yards, and they've also rushed for 8 yards between STE and West Hills.
How about that? STE, though, coming in and making a nice little gain there. He's got 7 yards average carry this season. Just really been impactful for the Ticats.
Big second down here, 2nd and 8 for the Tiger Cats from the Montreal 34, trailing 14-3. Evans has time, pump fakes to his left, pump fakes to his right, and he is brought down. He is tackled by Usher. There is a flag. Tim Croker, the referee. Dane Evans taking a lot of time back there. Finally brought down. Let's see what the penalty is.
Montreal number 37. 10-yard penalty makes it a first down.
Wes Sutton, lone defensive all-star for the Alouettes, takes the penalty, and that helps out the Tiger Cats. That puts them inside the 25-yard line on the Montreal 24.
You know, that's a fortunate break for the Ticats. Arguably probably not impactful to the outcome of the play. You know, that infraction. The rush was just really strong from the Alouettes, and Dane couldn't escape it, but fortunate to keep the drive alive here.
Dane Evans, empty backfield, throws to his left. Wes Hills makes a good catch with his hands. Had to reach out. It was perfectly timed. Hit him right in stride. And Wes Hills is tackled as he gets across the Montreal 20.
I like that. The 4 receivers stacked to the boundary side, which is Dane Evans' right. And Wes Hills escapes on a little bubble to the left with a lot of room in the flat there.
On the Montreal 19, handoff goes to Wes Hills, and he goes right into the meat of that Montreal defense.
A little bit close
few
here.
Yards, yeah. He needed 4 for the first down. Let's see where they spot this. It looks like might be a little short.
Well, you're right. It was right into the meat of that Montreal defense, and they had the box loaded up. It was a full blitz, man coverage, and unfortunately, just a little bit shy of what would be a comfortable, quarterback sneak, short yardage scenario. Just a little too far to go, and Seth Small's got to take the field again.
Tiger Cats have a lot of confidence in Seth Small. He hit a 47-yarder already in this game. This one is a 24-yard attempt to close the gap on the Montreal lead, and Seth Small couldn't have placed it more in the middle of the 2 uprights. Perfect. Seth Small 2 for 2 in the postseason, and the Tiger Cats trailing the Alouettes 14-6. Alouettes a couple of touchdowns in the game. The Tiger Cats a couple of field goals. We're in the second quarter. Tiger Cats are trailing by 8. We'll be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. Montreal lead Hamilton 14-6 in the second quarter of the Eastern semifinal. Montreal has the football back, and it has been a precision effort so far from Trevor Harris. Only 1 incompletion. He's passed for 127 yards and 1 touchdown. Walter Fletcher ran in the other one. Again, no pressure on Trevor Harris. Looked left, then threw to his right, and it's complete to Eugene Lewis, who's across the Montreal 40.
You're right. The protection from Montreal in front of Trevor Harris has been really great so far into the second quarter now, and he had time there, but great job. Seontae Evans in the secondary, just 1 yard gained by that Eugene Lewis little hitch route there.
Tiger Cats will take that, trying for a 2-and-out here. It's a 2nd and 9. Montreal on their own 41-yard line. Trevor Harris in the shotgun. He's flanked by William Stanback, quickly throws to his left. It is complete to Eugene Lewis, who's across the 50, and it should be enough for a first down, and it is. Eugene Lewis, we knew he'd be targeted a lot.
It's tough. Seontae Evans playing a little bit off there, and that's an out route to the wide side of the field, the longest ball flight, on the CFL field there. And you think you have enough space, but really good timing by Lewis and Trevor Harris to make that completion, even with the long throw.
Montreal up to their own 51. Handoff goes to Walter Fletcher. Started to his right, then goes over to his left, and Mo Diallo combined with Jovan Santos Knox to bring him down right on the McGill M at midfield, but it is on the Tiger Cats side of midfield now. Jovan Santos Knox second in the CFL in defensive tackles. Trevor Harris has 12 completions. 8 of them have gone to either Eugene Lewis or Jake Winicky. Here's a 2nd and 4 for Montreal. They're in Hamilton territory on the Tiger Cats 53. Trevor Harris throws to his left. It is caught by Tyson Philpott. He's inside the Hamilton 35. It's another first down for Montreal, and Trevor Harris can do no wrong right now.
Man, we're just seeing so much success to the outside of the field for Trevor Harris. 5 to 10 yard depth, but towards that outside, little Oscar routes, comebacks, speed outs at 5 to 10 yards, and you got to think Mark Washington's going to tighten these guys down here pretty soon. You've just got to take away some of that space right off the bat.
10 minutes to go in the opening half of the Eastern semifinal. Montreal leads 14-6. They're on the move again on the Hamilton 33-yard line. It's 1st and 10. The handoff goes to Fletcher, and he runs to his left. He's got blocking help in front of him. He's down to the 10, breaks a tackle, and dives into the end zone. It's a touchdown for Walter Fletcher. His first of this game. Dominic Davis ran one in, and Jake Winicky caught a touchdown pass. That's 3 touchdowns in the opening half for Montreal, and they lead 20-6, and there's still a convert to come.
Right from the snap of that play, Trevor Harris had receivers off to his right, and he had the edge around the left side of the Ticat defense right away. It seemed like right at the handoff, just really well executed. And just a great play call. I mean, they really got the exact defense they were hoping to get, and you can draw a defense into that with your formation, hoping that guys align the way you expect them to, and they certainly did. Montreal Alouettes dialed that one up just right.
David Cote on to attempt the 32-yard convert. Montreal, a healthy lead at home against the Tiger Cats, and the convert is good from Cote, who is extremely reliable. And it's a 21-6 lead for the Alouettes with 9:26 to go in the opening half. The Tiger Cats offense has to get going. We'll see what they can do when we come back on the Ticats Audio Network. Alouettes playing well in the Eastern semifinal. They're up 21-6. Last time Tiger Cats allowed 21 points in the opening half was late in the regular season, their last home game against Ottawa. And Tiger Cats came back to win. They trailed 21-13 at the half. It's currently 21-6 with 9:26 to go in the half. Lawrence Woods back to return this kickoff. Tiger Cats need a big return, and he's capable of it. Gets it at the near hash mark inside the numbers. Cuts to the middle. Bit of an opening there, and ran into some of that blocking help in front of him, Anthony Federico. And Tiger Cats will begin this drive at their own 43-yard line.
Yeah, that's a lot of force coming up, through the return by Lawrence Woods. We saw Anthony Federico actually have to leave a game this year from that exact scenario.
Yeah, that's right.
Of his own returner, Lawrence Woods, coming with so much steam up the middle. But good return, though. This gives Dane Evans and his group a chance here on the 43-yard line.
Couple of field goals for this offense. Dane Evans wants a little bit more. Tiger Cats trail 21-6. Dane Evans, high snap, fakes a throw to the left, continues to look to the left, backpedaling, throws, and it's intercepted. It's intercepted by Mike Jones. It was intended for Tim White, and they were both in close quarters, but it's Jones who comes up with the football, and the Alouettes have everything going for them in this opening half. They have a big lead, 21-6, and they get the first turnover, and it's a big one.
Well, for the turnover issues that the Ticats have had all season, -22 on the season for the turnover ratio, They have not thrown a single interception against the Alouettes. Dane Evans and Matt Schiltz, neither one has thrown an interception, and this is the first of the season now in the Eastern semifinal. It's a loaded up box. So Hamilton had their big bodies in their double tight ends, 7-man front in West Hills. You got 8-man protection. That means only 3 receivers running routes. But still, I think Dane Evans was kind of pressured. They had a good amount of pressure in the backfield, and he gave Tim White a chance, but it's hard. It's a long throw.
Montreal gets the ball on their own 52, and Trevor Harris trying to make them pay immediately, but some miscommunication. There hasn't been much of that from the Montreal offense. No Alouettes near that football, and just the second incompletion of the game for Trevor Harris.
Trevor Harris is on a pathway right now to break his own playoff records. I mean, as far as completion percentage and yards, I mean, he's really playing very, very well right now. 158 in the air with a touchdown pass, no interceptions. And like you said, the most incredible part is he's 13 for 15 right now.
He has been hot, and an incompletion, a rare incompletion, snapped a streak of 8 in a row for Trevor Harris. Under pressure now, and he throws to his left, and another incompletion. Tiger Cats defense needed that. So back-to-back incompletions for Trevor Harris after he threw just one in the majority of the first and second quarter.
Well, let's keep an eye on this, because that looked different from Mark Washington's defense right there. They got their 2 and out that they've been looking for, forced 2 incompletions, and they were getting into the backfield. They're forcing Trevor Harris to get the ball out of his hands. He's been too comfortable in this first half, and that drive looked better.
A turnover by the Tiger Cats does not cost them any points. Joseph Zima back to punt. He is on his own 37-yard line. Lawrence Woods hovering just in front of his own uprights. He'll drift back and let that bounce at the 1. It goes into the end zone. So a big kick from Zima, and Woods will take a knee. And that is another point for Montreal. So now the Alouettes lead 22-6. Tiger Cats will have decent field position. Coming off a turnover late now in the second quarter, Tiger Cats will try to cut into this Alouettes 22-6 lead. You're listening to the Ticats Audio Network. Tiger Cats begin this drive on their own 40. It's 22-6, Montreal leading. Handoff goes to West Hills. He's got a big opening. Breaks a tackle across midfield, across the Montreal 50. Finally brought down by the Montreal safety, Marc-Antoine Desquois. But West Hills with his biggest run of the game, 22 yards. It is a first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
Man, that is what you need. West Hills making an impact here as they try to get back at this lead that the Montreal Alouettes have.
Wasting no time, it's pitched to Tim White, who might have lost a yard as he ran off to the left and got right near the 50, maybe back to the 51.
It's an interesting point differential here. It's 6-22. If the Ticats can go down there and score a touchdown, you kick an extra point to put it to 13-22, 9-point game. It's just a little bit strange. You could consider going for 2 and trying to get it into an 8-point lead again, but a lot of time left, but still, it's an interesting spread we've got going on.
Under 7 minutes to go in the half. You're right, Luke. The math will be calculated on that Ticats sideline. They need a touchdown first. Don't have one in the game yet, and Dane Evans is under pressure. Tries to run to his left, and that'll be another loss. It will be just short of the 50 as Dane Evans tried to make something happen off to the left, and it started promising with that big West Hills run, but now the Tiger Cats are going to have to punt.
It's impressive pressure. They're really laying it on heavy, the Montreal defense, but the Ticats really picked it up. Both running backs stayed in to add into the protection and picked up the blitzers, but Dane just had to get out of there because it was collapsing and didn't have the ability then to keep his eyes downfield as everything started falling apart around him.
Blake Hayes, first CFL playoff game. First punt was 55 yards, a return of 16. A left-footed punter sends it off to the right again, placing this, and Worthy was off to the left, had to run a long way to pick up that football. By the time he got to it, the Tiger Cats coverage was excellent and not much of a return, just across the Montreal 10-yard line, so good coverage that time on Chandler Worthy after a pretty good punt by Blake Hayes.
I think Blake Hayes is making a difference. I mean, he really is kicking the ball well with really good placement today, and he's got an interesting, that Aussie-style kick with his legs sort of swinging across his body, and it's deceptive to the returner. His shoulders aren't telling the whole story of where the kick's going to go, and it's clearly working. I mean, Chandler Worthy did not have an ability to field that ball clean, and then was cornered, pigeonholed in the corner of his field to try to make the return. Really well done there by the young and very new punter.
Yes, just his second CFL game, one regular season game, and right into the playoffs for Blake Hayes, but it was a good kick. Good coverage, too. Montreal starts from their own 10. Williams stand back, runs into Cam Kelly, stays on his feet. Richard Leonard and Micah Johnson then team up to bring Stanback down after a couple of extra yards.
Heavy contact as Stanback brought that ball towards the line of scrimmage. Cam Kelly really taking a hard hit, and you can see him shaking it off now. But good job by the rest of the Ticats to rally and to stop that from gaining that first down.
6 hard yards from Stanback, so it's a 2nd and 4 for the Alouettes from their own 16-yard line. They've got a healthy lead. It's 22-6. 5 minutes to go in the opening half. Trevor Harris, he's had a good, strong half. Completes it to Keon Julian Grant and the Tiger Cats all right there. Tunde Adeleke with a tackle. Richard Leonard, Jovan Santos Knox also involved. And everybody looking at that first down marker, it appears it's very close. They might have to measure.
We talked about earlier in this game the blocking on the outside by the Montreal receiving core. That was cover 0. The Ticats were really bringing the pressure, but Trevor Harris has the quick answer to the outside with that wide receiver screen. And again, I think it's those.
Okay. 3rd down, hold on. Okay, I got this. Okay.
Catching a little field sound there as they mark that just short of the first down, but it's the blocking of the outside wide receivers that are making those work for Montreal, and they're having success with it.
4 or 5 chain links short of the first down. Dominic Davis comes in at quarterback for the Alouettes. He's been very good on short yardage for Montreal this season. This is almost a mandatory get for the Alouettes. It's 3rd and inches. In this game, Montreal 8 for 11, converting 2nd downs. Tiger Cats, if they can get a stop here on 3rd down, it would be huge. Davis only needs inches, waits for the offensive line, and they're trying to drag him back. Richard Leonard got behind Davis, had his left foot, and was pulling him backwards, and Eugene Lewis doesn't like it. He's having words with Richard Leonard right now. Now, the big subject line that we have to address is, I believe, Davis did have enough for the first down.
It looked like his initial surge was well past the marker. It was literally, inches, a 1/3 of the football length, that he needed. I don't know, we'll see how they spot it here.
They are giving the Alouettes the first down. Yeah. He needed about 4 inches, got about 7. So enough for the first down. Getting close to the 3-minute warning. 3 minutes, 43 seconds on the clock, and the clock is running. Montreal leads 22-6. Trevor Harris runs to his right, then throws back to the middle to Stanback, and he's tackled immediately by Julian Hauser.
Yeah, they're really going to their screen package a lot. They've dialing up to the outside and then an interior screen there to Stanback, and great job by Hauser to put the stop to that. But it does give Trevor Harris a quick answer when you've got screens working, and you're not looking for an explosive play there. You're looking for 5 yards when you run those screens, and they've got it most of the time, I'd have to say. Great stop on that one in particular by the Ticat defense.
Just 1 yard, so it's 2nd and 9. Montreal on their own 21. Tiger Cats defense digging in just before the 3-minute warning. Some pressure on Harris, and he gets away from it, completes it to the check down, Walter Fletcher. And he's tackled by Simone Lawrence, but he's very close to another first down. It is another Montreal first down.
Man, that is so impressive by Trevor Harris there. The Ticats came out in a coverage 2-man there, and that's a coverage that I really like. If I was a defense coordinator, you would see a lot of 2-man from my defense. And what happens there is Harris recognizes it and finds his check down. That's his answer, and he found it.
We're at the 3-minute warning. Montreal with the football, and they lead 22-6. We'll be back with the finish of the opening half in moments. You're listening to the Ticats Audio Network.
Well, we'd like to take a moment to thank the many people that work on our game day broadcast behind the scenes so that you guys can enjoy Ticats football.
Yes, Elizabeth Hart, David Butko, Anil Maharaj, Hillary Welch, Brandon Treader, Kennedy Player Reed, Evan Caswell, Casey Metropolis, and Brad Lemon, also Sarah Seibel and Lindsey Boyd.
And I'm sure that we've missed, there's many more. There's a bunch of great people who work in this organization, but Matt Afnick and Dave Cadeau, a special thanks for all your support all season long. Thank you from this team here and this afternoon for the Ticats Audio Network.
Here, here, absolutely. Just a great team at the Ticats Audio Network. A little shout out to our executive producer, Peter McEwen, as well, who has kept the games on the rails for us so many times through this season.
True professional. It is a great group of people, both in the Ticats Audio Network and the franchise on wide. It's a joy to be a part of it.
Absolutely. And a little bit of work to do in this opening half for the Tiger Cats. 22-6, Montreal leads. There's 2:52 to go in the opening half.
That's a good one.
A lot of twos. Trevor Harris has thrown for 172. Makes the handoff, spins, and Eugene Lewis is open, and he puts it right between the 8 and 7 on his jersey, and he'll be close to the Montreal 40-yard line after that reception.
Simone Lawrence there to deliver a little bit extra on that tackle with Eugene Lewis, and Jamal Roll wrapping him up as well. This has been a slow, drive. They've been just, grudging their way down the field, but they've still got the ball in their hands with time on the clock, and this will be a big stop here for the Ticats.
2nd and 3 for the Alouettes on their own 38-yard line. Trevor Harris, empty backfield, goes to his right, again throws over the middle to Stanback, and waits for Stanback to make things happen. He gets across the 45-yard line. It's another first down for Montreal. They're still on their side of the half, but they are taking time off the clock.
Just impressive. The Ticats have done what we expected. Now they're bringing more pressure, and they've really tightened down the coverage on the outsides of the field. But Trevor Harris is recognizing that and finding quicker checkdowns closer to the box.
Alouettes up to their 45. Fresh set of downs. Just over 2 minutes to go in the half. Harris calmly stays in the pocket. That was tipped and nearly picked off by Jovan Santos Knox. It goes incomplete. And Santos Knox, the one of 7 defensive all-stars for the Tiger Cats in the East Division, came very close to catching it.
Yeah, he's had a great year leading in tackles, and I think he's senses he maybe could have caught that ball. He got a hand on it, and it would have been very impressive.
Yeah.
But good knockdown, all the rest.
See, that's the expectations he has for himself.
That's right.
He got it with his
He's an all-star.
fingertips. Thought he should have picked it off. It was a good play by Santos Knox. So 2nd and 10, Montreal from their own 45. Harris converts. He hits Eugene Lewis on the run. He's in Hamilton territory across the Tiger Cats 45-yard line. Another first down for Montreal, and they have the wind. They're in Hamilton territory, and there's under 2 minutes to go in the half.
Well, they brought pressure. They're trying to make it uncomfortable for Trevor Harris, but Eugene Lewis, a little stutter, go, and then he digs across the field, and Ciante Evans is not in position to make a play.
Trevor Harris in the opening half is now over 200 yards passing, 208 yards. He's completed 19 of 23 passes. Eugene Lewis almost 100 yards already receiving. Now on the Hamilton 43, Alouettes up 22-6. A high pass for Winnipeg. It's picked off. It was tipped by Winnipeg, and Tunde Adeleke dove and intercepted it. The defense gets the ball back for the Tiger Cats. Crucial play in this Eastern semifinal.
What a play. Tunde Adeleke able to recognize that and make a diving catch as that ball was tumbling towards the field. And that's what the Ticats have needed. Somebody's got to break the game open and make an unexpected big play. Jake Winnipeg really was kind of surprised by that ball being on him so quick in his route and couldn't get 2 hands up to it. Okay, here's Dane's chance. They got a minute and a half left in the second quarter here to try to go get points.
Will that be the turning point? The Tiger Cats defense, it has been so strong all season long. Montreal looked like they were going to get more points. They didn't. Now the Tiger Cats go to work. Wes Hills running along the near sideline gets enough for a first down, but there is a flag. We'll see what that is.
Holding, Hamilton, number 69. 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
Boy,
So,
tough.
holding.
Yep, the Hamilton, they were not terrible. They had a decent year with penalties, least penalized defense in the league, and today they've had a couple offensive penalties that have just really been a part of their struggle in finding any rhythm on offense. And that one right there, Wes Hills breaks a big run and all for naught as it gets called back.
Would have been a 16-yard gain for Wes Hills. Instead, it pushes the Tiger Cats back to their own 25-yard line. First and 20 for the Tiger Cats with 1:23 to go in the half. Pass to the left to Tim White. He's got some blocking help in front of him. Gets across the 35, and he'll be brought down at the Hamilton 37-yard line. That puts a dent into the 20 yards they needed for the first down.
Tim White, man, he has been the answer offensively. Unfortunately, it's in some ways been the only answer. Wes Hills with a little bit of success here and there, and we just haven't been able to see much more. Montreal, to be fair, Montreal's done a great job of maintaining the clock as well. That previous drive that ended in the interception was a 4-minute-plus drive.
Dane Evans has completed 6 passes, 5 to Tim White, 1 to Wes Hills. Dane Evans with a minute to go, drops back. It's a 2nd and 8. Evans under pressure, and he is sacked. He is brought down by the Alouettes, Mike Moore, and it's a big loss again, and that will force Hamilton to punt, and Montreal gets this football back with just under a minute to go. Quarterback sacks had really slowed on the Tiger Cats, but all of a sudden Montreal has figured a little something out, and they've got a lot of pressure on Dane Evans. 3rd sack of the half for the Montreal defense. Blake Hayes standing at his own 14-yard line. The rookie punter should be able to lean into this one. Chandler Worthy catches it at his own 45, runs to the numbers, then cuts inside. Now he's heading back toward the numbers. Bailey, Feltmate, and others involved in that tackle for the Tiger Cats. But he's close to midfield, Worthy is, with that return. And 26 seconds to go in the opening half.
Unique part of Chandler Worthy's game is, all these great returners, Lawrence Woods, and there's a handful of them across the league. They're explosive and they're fast. That's, of course, what a returner is. But Chandler Worthy is also really patient, and he does not get arm tackled. And you just got to work a little extra to actually get him to the ground. And he just wiggled 5 more yards out of that play than you could have really expected.
Alouettes up 22-6, 26 seconds to go in the half. Trevor Harris might try to make something else happen. Play action, swings it off to the right. It is complete to Tyson Philpott, and again, he's able to break some tackles and gets very close to a first down. He's in Hamilton territory across midfield to the Hamilton 50.
Well, like his teammate Chandler Worthy, Philpott is also not a guy to arm tackle very easy. He's shown that this year throughout the season that he's going to break through, a halfway done tackle.
Trevor Harris wastes no time, got the snap in his hands, threw the ball, and Julian Grant makes the catch. And the Tiger Cats defense, about 4 or 5 of them, formed almost a wall led by Keontae Evans and didn't let Julian Grant get much.
Keontae Evans kind of got tangled up there. The pile sort of got pushed onto his ankles and kind of rolled over. He's jogging out to his position now at field corner, but keep an eye on him.
Jamal Roll watching Eugene Lewis. 10 seconds to go in the half. Harris trying to go deep over the middle. Diving for it was Hergy Maela. He had a step on Richard Leonard, but couldn't come up with a football. It's incomplete.
Again, the Ticats have added in the pressure. It just wasn't working early in this game when they were going 3 down and either bringing 4 or 3 sometimes, and now they're really bringing it, and it is slowed the Montreal offense just a bit.
So the Alouettes, they're going to try a field goal here. This is right from midfield, so a 55 yard attempt. The longest this season for David Cote is 52 yards. So he has not hit from 55. He's 2 for 6 this season from 50 or more yards.
The wind looks pretty calm right now.
55-yard field goal attempt. Montreal right at the end of the half trying to add to their lead. This is off to the right. It is no good. And Lawrence Woods stutter steps now, picks up some speed as he runs down that far sideline, stays in bounds, and finally is brought down. He got it across the 35-yard line, but there's no time left on the clock. And the Alouettes, they went for it, trying to add to their lead. They did not get the field goal. But it is a 22-6 lead, and Luke, Trevor Harris just came out on fire for the first quarter and the first half of the second quarter.
Yeah, they've had 27 pass attempts in the game and only 8 rushes. I mean, especially that first quarter was pretty impressive. I mean, that was a really, really efficient offense by the Alouettes. And Trevor Harris, I just think he's just got a real veteran ability to see things very clearly. And when you don't bring the rush and you drop back into a full coverage, he's going to be patient and wait for his guys to make plays. And then you bring the rush and he'll find his check down. I mean, he's just got a great ability to recognize what you're putting up against him. But big play there by Tunde Adeleke to take advantage of that turnover. And the Ticats have slowed the Alouettes, right? They've calmed this down, but the Alouettes got off to such an impressive start to this game that there's just really a lot of work still to be done for the Ticats.
Second half has not been a strength for the Tiger Cats, but they will need their biggest second half of the season to keep their season alive. In the Eastern semifinal, it's 22-6 for Montreal at the half. Tiger Cats at the half with Bubba O'Neill and Eddie Fantus is next on the Ticats Audio Network.
Ticats, Owls, the Eastern semifinal. Here on the Ticats Audio Network. Now back to Luke and RJ.
Great to have you with us on the Ticats Audio Network. Second half to keep the season going for the Tiger Cats. It is a 22-6 deficit. Montreal leads by 16 points. Incidentally, those 16 points are the biggest first half deficit the Tiger Cats have faced this season. And the second half, they have not won a fourth quarter on the road this season. So this is what sports stories are all about. The unexpected, the original reality television.
That's it.
So Tiger Cats, who struggled in the second half most of the season, need a big second half to keep their season alive. It should be exciting, Luke.
We've seen a couple times this season Lawrence Woods be the spark that started that kind of turnaround in a game, and here he gets a chance right now.
The sun is now shining on Molson Stadium. About half the field in shadows, half the field in sunshine. Tiger Cats get the ball. Lawrence Woods gets it at his own 25, picks up some speed, crosses the 40, and he's tackled just inside the numbers at about the 42, 43-yard line.
Well, part of the story of the first half was the battle of the line of scrimmage. And to me, RJ, the Alouettes have sort of been winning that battle on both sides. Their defensive line has caused a lot of pressure for Dane. 3 sacks have been let up. And on top of those sacks, though, he's really been uncomfortable back there as his pockets collapsed on him. The Ticats have got to find a way to give him a little bit of time to keep his eyes downfield.
The offense, at least the passing game, has been pretty much one-dimensional. 5 completions to Tim White, 1 to Wes Hills. Dane Evans from the Hamilton 43 beginning this drive, the second half, and under pressure immediately. Dane Evans is hit as he throws, and trying to make the catch at that far sideline was Tyler Turnowski, but he didn't have a chance. It was out of bounds.
Another pressure from the Alouettes defense. It was just a 5-man pressure. Wes Hills chipping as he goes down out to be the check down, and not all that bad. I mean, Dane could have stayed in there a little bit, but you've got, it's a split-second decision, and he had to get out of there and get rid of the ball. Boy, they've got to get some concepts developed here.
2nd and 10. Tiger Cats on their own 43-yard line. First possession of the second half. Montreal up by 16. Dane Evans drops back, pump fakes, throws over the middle. It is caught by Tim White. And will it be enough for a first down? It looks like it is.
That was excellent execution. That was cover zero from the Alouettes. They brought everybody, knowing that they've been causing a lot of problems for Dane, but Dane stayed put, just drifted to the left, but stayed in the pocket, and then threw a strike to Tim White, who was sitting right where he needed to, just past the first down marker.
That first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling. First possession of the second half. Tiger Cats desperately need points. And off to Wes Hills, and he's got hands on him right away, but still manages to carry it across midfield. Got a couple of yards after it looked like he might have had a loss.
Former Ticat Tyrese Beverett on the tackle there. And you can see what this Alouette defense said at halftime. They know that their pressure is working. They've been making it uncomfortable for Dane, and they are doubling down on that. We're just seeing back-to-back cover zeros here. They're just bringing everyone and playing man up on the five outside receivers.
Dane Evans 7 for 10, 123 yards. 6 of those 7 passes have gone to Tim White. 2nd and 8 from the Montreal 54. Dane Evans fakes the pass to the right with a pump fake, and he looks up, and there's nothing but Alouettes there, and they bring Dane Evans down again. 4th sack of the game for the Alouettes.
Well, I don't mind the response there from Tommy Condell. They're seeing this cover zero. It was cover zero again for the 3rd time on that drive, and they emptied it out. They said, let's go 6 wide, and it'll be 6 on 6, and then you've got to protect 6 against 5, but Alouettes, great job getting back there.
Seen a lot of Blake Hayes in his first CFL playoff game. He's kicked a couple to the right. This one, he kicks to the left. Chandler Worthy drifts back to his own 10, running outside the numbers, and a big collision as he's brought down.
Kyle Wilson is who actually made that tackle at the end, but it was awesome. Chandler Worthy kind of drifting, finding a gap, and Kyle Wilson, perfect form, straight tackle going backwards.
So the Alouettes stop the Tiger Cats on the first possession of the second half. They'll get the ball when we come back. Alouettes lead in the 3rd quarter, 22-6. You're listening to the Ticats Audio Network. In Montreal for the East semifinal early in the second half. 3rd quarter, Montreal's first possession. They're in sunshine on this half of the field as they go from left to right, and they try a run to Walter Fletcher and the big men, Micah Johnson, Ted Laurent. They gave Fletcher nothing.
Micah Johnson, it just, the momentum stops at the moment of impact. There's no further progress upfield.
He's a wall.
That's been the Ticat run stop for the year.
Well, that's a good start for the Tiger Cats. They need to get this ball back. Stavros Katsantonis into the football game. Tunde Adeleke also out there. It's a 2nd and 9 for Montreal. They're on their own 17. Trevor Harris, empty backfield, throws to his left. That's William Standback over there, and making a good tackle was Simone Lawrence. And that'll send the Alouettes off the field. A quick 2 and out to begin the second half for them.
Well done by Mark Washington's defense, and they were not bringing the pressure there. They're sort of back in their standard shell. Simone Lawrence tracking all the way across the field as they loaded up with Standback, was the 4th eligible to the boundary side, and Simone comes all the way across the field and stays with him, works through those other players and receivers to stop him short of the first down.
Chance for good field position here for the Tiger Cats. Joseph Zima standing on his own 8-yard line, punting into the wind. There's the snap. Zima, pretty good kick. Lawrence Woods at his own 45. Stutter steps, stumbles a bit, gets up, gets across the 50, and cannot quite get to midfield, but it will be good field position for the Tiger Cats. They need some points. The Alouettes in the 3rd quarter are leading 22-6. Tiger Cats' biggest deficit at the half. We'll see what they can do, and Matt Schultz is on the field. We'll see what he can do when we come back on the Ticats Audio Network.
We'd like to take a moment to thank our radio station partners for carrying Ticats football on their airwaves this season.
Yes, Saga 960 in Mississauga, City News 570 in Kitchener, AM 900 CHML in Hamilton, where Rick Zamperin follows this broadcast with the 5th quarter, and 1460 Seajoy in Guelph.
Thank you for your partnership. We've enjoyed bringing you Ticats football. New content drops daily on the Ticats Audio Network at listen.ticats.ca.
Fantastic season, so many great partners. And is there a great comeback on the horizon? There's 10:47 to go in the third quarter. And Matt Schultz is on the field for the Tiger Cats. Are you surprised?
Not surprised, but it's not that Dane has done anything wrong. You got to change something up. You know, you have to start something on this drive. And this has been the story of the Ticats this season. They've both contributed in most of the games. I mean, they both have a part in the way that this season's progressed. And so, no, I'm not surprised to see Matt Schultz in there, and I will not be surprised again to see Dane back in at some point too.
Matt Schultz, 344 passing yards against Montreal. Had that big game of over 300 passing yards. Montreal wound up winning. On the last play of the game, David Cote hit a 48-yard field goal and beat the Tiger Cats by a point. But 37% of Schultz's passing yards have come against Montreal. We'll see what he can do. Beginning this drive from the Hamilton 53. It's a quick throw. It's complete to Tim White. He's breaking tackles. He's across the 40. And he's lost a shoe, but he's got the first down, presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
Well, that's a beautiful play call. It gives Matt Schultz a quick answer. And Tim White, from the most inside position to the left, bursts left, right to the outside of the field, and he just gains leverage right away.
Got to be quick at tying that shoe to get back into action. So down to the Montreal 39. Good first play for Matt Schultz in at quarterback. Hands off to Wes Hills, and he runs up the middle, and the offensive line with Brandon Revenberg, Coulter, Woodmansey, they were behind Wes Hills, pushing him forward, getting maybe a couple of extra yards. 4 yards on that carry for Wes Hills.
It seems like every time they've changed up with Matt Schultz and Dane Evans, it sparks something right off the bat. You know, things change immediately, and then you can sort of go back and forth if they've wanted to at times. It's just a really interesting dynamic to Tommy Condell's offense.
Down by 16 with 9:23 to go in the third quarter. Matt Schultz facing a 2nd and 6 from the Montreal 35. They're with the win. Seth Small has a couple of field goals in this game. Throw to the outside. It's Anthony Johnson. His first reception of the game, and it's another Tiger Cats first down. Presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
Earlier this season, we saw Matt Schultz come into the game, and you're right off the bench, and you come into the game, and he threw a strike on the sidelines, like really got right into it right away. And right in this drive that he's in charge of here, the ball's getting out of his hands very quickly. And who knows? We don't know is there a little bit of a different play calling from Tommy Condell when he's in there, but either way, he's done a great job of just moving the ball down the field.
It's working so far. Good field position to start this drive. Now down to the Montreal 26. Schultz with time. He goes to Johnson again, and he breaks a tackle. A little shutter move, and he dives ahead down close to the 15.
You got to say right there, as Matt Schultz holds onto the ball, is patient in the pocket, the pressure is coming. I mean, Montreal's continued to bring a hard pressure, but he stays in there, and he keeps his eyes downfield as long as he possibly can.
2nd and 1 from the Montreal 17. Under center, and it was Schultz under center, and Almondo Sewell clearly was offside, but we'll see what the call here is. Did the offensive line move for the Tiger Cats, or was it Sewell?
Well, they're talking it over. To me, it looked definitely against Montreal, but of course, they've got a better vantage point, the referees, than we do.
Offside, Montreal number 90. It's 5-yard penalty. Comes first down.
You know, we haven't seen that a lot, RJ. Like that, you know, the hard snap count on the short yardage situation, and you know, sometimes it's nice to just get a freebie.
So they don't have to worry about the short yardage, as he mentioned, Luke. It is a first down from the Montreal 12. Matt Schultz, his first drive in at quarterback for the Tiger Cats. Play action, and he spins it off to Tim White to the right, and he couldn't come up with it. Had he made that catch, it was a little far ahead of him, but he might have ran that into the end zone.
That was really unique right from the start. You had Sean Thomas Erlington and Felix Garon Gauthier in the backfield, who led Tim White out to the right side, just slightly off on the connection with the throw, but it looked like a really interesting play they were setting up and probably had the leverage they wanted.
First incompletion for Matt Schultz, who has come in, gone 3 for 4, 36 yards, has Hamilton down to the Montreal 12-yard line. To 2nd and 10 for the Tiger Cats. They're trailing by 16 in the third quarter. Matt Schultz looks straight up the middle, completes the pass. It's Stephen Dunbar, breaks a tackle, touchdown, Tiger Cats! Stephen Dunbar gets the pass from Matt Schultz, and the Tiger Cats are back in business.
Wow. Unbelievable. And what a drive. And everything just looks different. They're just in a different gear. It's a different operation. I mean, it looked really, really clean. And that 2nd and 10 there, that was pivotal. That was crucial. Yeah, you could settle for a field goal here. Maybe even play 3-down football at this point, but they don't have to. Matt Schultz patient. Stephen Dunbar all the way from the right, coming across the field, gets into the end zone, breaking a few tackles on the way.
12-yard touchdown pass to Stephen Dunbar was driven by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. It's 22-12, and Tiger Cats are going to go for 2 points. They're 4 for 5 this season on 2-point conversions. Needed in the Eastern semifinal to creep a little closer to Montreal. First score of the second half goes to the Tiger Cats on Matt Schultz. First drive with the Tiger Cats. Going for 2. Schultz throws to the end zone. Wide open. Anthony Johnson. The 2-point convert is good. And the Tiger Cats are now down 22-14.
One score game.
An 8-point game.
That's right. It's the interesting spread that we were referring to in the first half. That 2-point conversion is huge. You don't want to be stuck in that strange 9-point game. And that was a great reception there by Anthony Johnson in the back of the end zone. I mean, that was really well executed. Boy, this is going to get interesting, RJ.
Well, it seemed bleak at the half, and that is a huge drive for the Tiger Cats with Matt Schultz. They're within 8, and there's still half of the third quarter to go. We'll be right back at the Ticats Audio Network. It's game on in Montreal, the Eastern semifinal. Montreal had a 22-6 lead at the half, but an 8-play, 55-yard drive led by Matt Schultz results in a Stephen Dunbar touchdown, his first reception of the game. Anthony Johnson, the 2-point conversion. He had 3 receptions on that drive, and it's an 8-point game, and the Tiger Cats are right back in it. The kickoff, it won't be Chandler Worthy. It's a Darius Pickett, and he's making a little something happen as he weaves his way across the 40, across the 45, and he's finally brought down there.
Yeah, Seth Small, you know, the ball hit the ground. I mean, it wasn't fielded out of the air, sort of a short and low kick. And this is going to be decent field position for Trevor Harris now to answer back from that Ticat touchdown.
Matt Schultz goes 5 for 6, 51 yards, throws a touchdown, throws a 2-point convert. By the way, the Tiger Cats 5 for 6 and converting the 2-pointers this season. They might have to try another one if they can hold Montreal here and get another touchdown. That would tie things up. It's an 8-point deficit. We'll see what Trevor Harris can do. Takes the handoff, passes to Walter Fletcher to the near side, and he'll get across the 50 right to midfield. A little bit short of a first down, maybe by a yard or 2.
Well, it's Richard Leonard is sort of the first guy up there with the ability to make a stop there, but he has to set the edge. He has to maintain outside leverage on the runner, and it's the rest of that defense that just, you know, is having trouble getting up to there. You know, that was almost a backwards pass. You know, catches that way in the backfield, but he's able to, you know, get too many yards on just a little bubble to the right of Trevor Harris.
Tiger Cats defense led in 2-and-outs forced. This is a 2nd and 2 for the Alouettes. They're at midfield. Montreal leading 22-14. It's in the third quarter. A pitch to Philpott. He's tripped up by Jovan Santos Knox. And then Knox is knocked down. Santos Knox is hit by Pierre-Olivier Lestage, and a flag flies. That could be costly for Montreal.
It could. And I mean, that was a...
Officials are discussing it right at midfield. It would have been close to the first down.
Yeah, we'll see. This is crucial right now as the Ticats are starting to get a little bit of momentum offensively. This would be a good one defensively as well. It seems like this is going to be a misconduct style penalty on Montreal, but there's so much conversation. I'm thinking we maybe missed something at the start. You know,
Yeah, all the officials are gathered at midfield.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get some offsetting misconducts here. Sort of that
Yeah.
slap on the wrist to both teams. You know, you guys be careful.
A lot on the line.
Yeah.
Eastern semifinal. It's a close game. Don't make the officials decide it. Tim Croker, the referee, he will have the call, and we'll have this all sorted out in moments. But there is a long discussion. The flag flew when Jovan Santos Knox was hit after the play by Pierre-Olivier
Two
Lestage.
misconduct fouls after the play. Misconduct foul against Montreal number 68 and misconduct foul against Hamilton number 45. The difference is 5 yards. It's third down.
Interesting.
So there can be different yardages.
I have to tell you, that's above even my football knowledge level. I don't know what to tell you. Why is it 5 yards against Montreal? But there you go. They deemed that they were more egregious in their misconduct, and now it's 3rd and 7. So good. Ticat, little break for the Ticat defense.
And they do get the stop, so they will get the ball back. It's important to note, 2 misconducts and you're out of the game, and Jovan Santos Knox is too important for the Tiger Cats, so he'll have to be careful. Cannot get another one. Tiger Cats need him, and Zima just got that punt away. Sean Thomas Erlington was very close to blocking it. Good coverage by the Alouettes as Zima was able to kick it outside the numbers, and Lawrence Woods didn't have much room to work along that far sideline. Hamilton's getting the ball back. Matt Schiltz fresh off a touchdown drive. It's 22-14, Montreal leading. Schiltz back on the field when we come back on the Ticats Audio Network.
This week on the Ticats Audio Network.
Normally right before bed when I'm having trouble sleeping, I'll put you guys on, and in about a minute and a half, I'm out. Because if I make it to the guests are great, and then I'm hooked on the show. But it's just the first 15 minutes that are torture.
That's Paul Osbaldiston on how he listens to the Montreal and Hitch podcast. He'll be back this week with round 2 on Montreal and Hitch. It's on the Ticats Audio Network. Boy, those guys, they have a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a hoot. They're awesome to listen to. Matt Schiltz, another chance here for his second drive of the game, and that was an impressive start for him. He came out in one drive through for 52 yards. The Ticats have had 123 yards the entire game prior to that drive. I mean, really an impressive job, and just completion after completion. This is a field he knows well. He's spent a lot of time in Montreal, and he came out ready to go, though his first chance was well into the game.
6 minutes and 4 seconds to go in the third quarter. Hamilton has outscored the Alouettes in this quarter 8-0 so far, and that has brought them to within 8. They had a 16-point deficit at the half, the biggest deficit for the Tiger Cats at the half this season. Matt Schiltz on the field. He's got Wes Hills just to his left. Plenty of movement as Tyler Turnowski cuts in front of Schiltz. Tim White goes the other way, and this is a deep ball for Anthony Johnson, and he just can't come up with a catch. He was behind the Montreal secondary, and it looked like it was close, but it's incomplete.
It looked to me like that might have been within a catchable radius, and it was an unbelievable throw by Matt Schiltz, who had cover 0, full blitz, and let that ball go way early. Man, I don't know. You hope that your guys can reach out and make that one. I just think it was a really well-thrown ball by Schiltz to take a shot when that's all the time he could have possibly taken.
About a foot too far for Anthony Johnson to haul in. Johnson had 3 catches on that previous drive. It's now 2nd and 10 for the Tiger Cats. They're on their own 27. Need to convert a second down. Schiltz, a high pass to Tim White. They say it's incomplete. He had it for a moment. He was hit immediately, but never had possession. And after that promising drive previously for the Tiger Cats, this time it's 2-0.
Yep, it would have been a tough catch. You think Tim White would probably hang on to it in most cases, but he's getting hit pretty hard as he pulls it in. Well thrown ball, and Matt Schiltz is standing in the pocket, making his reads and delivering the ball.
Blake Hayes on to punt. Montreal still leads 22-14. Both defenses coming up big on their last appearances on the field. Tiger Cats defense has been so strong this year. 7 All-Stars in the East Division. They'll have to continue to hold Montreal at those 22 points. Special teams has to come up big, but Chandler Worthy with an opening, got across midfield, and finally tackled. Very close to stripping the ball was Grant McDonald. He got his right hand on that right elbow of Worthy, and Worthy had a good handle on the football and did not give it up. But the Alouettes will start on Hamilton's side of the field, leading this Eastern semifinal by 8 points. It's 22-14. Trevor Harris was nearly flawless to begin this game. First quarter and about the first half of the second quarter, he just was not missing. Fakes a handoff. Here's a pass. It's complete. Eugene Lewis gets into the act in the second half. He'll get across the 50-yard line, maybe halfway to what they needed for the first down.
Julian Hauser running out of the box, from the line of scrimmage out into the flats to make that tackle and rally for a very minimal gain on that screen by the Alouettes. And they've run a huge amount of passes that are complete at the line of scrimmage. Wide receivers on the outside, running backs inside. They've had it all over, and it's some success, but that was a good one there by Hauser.
Eugene Lewis had 96 yards receiving in the opening half. That one was just 2 yards, so it's a 2nd and 8 from the Hamilton 49-yard line. Tiger Cats defense trying to stand strong again. Jamal Roll, he's following Eugene Lewis everywhere he goes along the line of scrimmage. Trevor Harris, he's scrambling, finally some pressure on Harris. They get to him, they bring him down, they sack him. It's Micah Johnson.
Boy, the momentum just starts to travel, and Trevor Harris slow to get up actually after that sack. Micah Johnson and other members of that front rush by the Ticat defense in the backfield. Great job. Jamal Roll is out there on Chandler Worthy, Eugene Lewis, covering down, and you can tell what a difference that makes. That first half, Trevor Harris just had too much time.
Yep. Jamal Roll trying to shut down Eugene Lewis, it appears. That's a defensive change the Tiger Cats have made, and a couple of 2-and-outs here for the Alouettes. Zima punting again. This time he sends it off to his right. Lawrence Woods gets it at his own 6-yard line, and he looks up and sees Adarius Pickett right in front of him, and he's brought down just short of the Hamilton 15-yard line. So a long field here for the Tiger Cats, trailing by 8 with 2:53 to go in the third quarter.
As both defenses start to have some good drives here, but the return game for Montreal has really outplayed the return game for Hamilton. They're winning the field position battle here, and now Matt Schultz has a really long ways to go to get into scoring territory.
Two of the best returners in the league with Chandler Worthy and Lawrence Woods, but Worthy had the big return on the opening kickoff of the game, and that led to a Montreal touchdown. It is a touchdown and a 2-point convert lead for the Alouettes. Schultz with time in the pocket, and he's throwing deep, and reaching for it was Stephen Dunbar. He couldn't come up with a catch.
Boy, they're taking shots. They're not going to be shy about trying to give their guys chances to make plays. Dunbar makes a move to the outside.
Nafis Lyon in coverage. Kind of wait on those plays.
Yeah.
Will there be a red flag being thrown? You never know on those deep balls. It could go either way, but no challenge, incomplete pass, 2nd and 10 for the Tiger Cats from their own 15. This is important, and plenty of movement for the Tiger Cats before this ball snapped. Matt Schultz stands in the pocket. He's going to run. Goes up the middle. He will just get a little bit past the line of scrimmage and nowhere near enough for a first down, so they'll have to punt again.
It's interesting. That's the first time, what seems like in a long time, that we have not seen a blitz from Montreal's defense. They only brought 3 there, actually. They had a low spy down low in the zone and to just make eyes with Matt Schultz, and unfortunately nothing open downfield. You got to take off, and there's just too much field to drive still.
Blake Hayes stands at his own 1-yard line. This is going to give Montreal pretty good field position. the rookie Australian punter for the Tiger Cats in just his second CFL game. Obviously his first playoff game. Snap is good from Gordon White. And the punt is pretty good, too, from his own 1. Worthy gets it at his own 45, but he's across the 50, across midfield. A lot of open territory across the 30. Hayes can't make the tackle, tiptoeing down the sideline. Worthy did step out of bounds, so maybe Blake Hayes got enough of him to force him out of bounds, but it looks like he's going to be inside the Hamilton 20.
Chandler Worthy just continues to make an impact. He just, return after return, he's making a difference. He caught that ball back at his own 45-yard line. And in this, we mentioned earlier some of his really direct vertical returns, and that one he made some guys miss right at the top. And boy, now Trevor Harris has a really big opportunity here.
Hayes was the one that got just enough of Worthy. He got about 4 more yards before he stepped out of bounds at the Hamilton 18. This is where Montreal begins this drive. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. Great return by Worthy. Trevor Harris has time. High pass to Standback. He makes the catch. Julian Hauser tracks him down, and big number 95 jumps on the back of Standback and brings him down.
Again, another pass to the outside there. Like that's a huge part of their game plan, is getting the ball quickly out of Harris's hands to a playmaker on the sidelines, try to out-leverage the defense, and the Ticats have strengthened their attack, their response to that in the second half.
Chandler Worthy, 6 punt returns in the game for 94 yards. He has been a factor. 2nd and 8 for the Alouettes from the Hamilton 16. Right now, the Tiger Cats would love a turnover. They'd settle for a field goal. Can't allow Montreal to get to the end zone again. Harris pump fake. They're reaching for him. Ted Laurent, Malik Carney. They bring him down. It's Ted Laurent with the sack and the celebration after.
Wow. Back-to-back drives, the sack after really not getting any pressure earlier in this game. I'm really impressed with Mark Washington's defense. They had some glaring issues in this first half, and they made the correct fixes. They tightened up the coverage and they increased pressure, and it's really caused problems for Trevor Harris.
A quarterback sack will push David Cote back a little bit. This is going to be a 33-yard field goal attempt to try to make this a 2-possession game. Cote, it's off the upright, and it goes through. He hit the left upright, but caught it on the inside, and it went through.
Wow.
You can't get any closer to missing that. But it is good. It's 25-14. The Alouettes just clinging to a 2-possession game now. We're through 3 quarters. And the Alouettes lead 25-14. The fourth quarter, the decisive fourth quarter of the Eastern semifinal is on the way on the Ticats Audio. We appreciate you listening on the Ticats Audio Network. Fourth quarter, 25-14, Montreal lead in the Eastern semifinal. And isn't this fitting for the Tiger Cats? A fourth quarter that has really been their struggle all season long. They need a big one to keep the season alive. Matt Schultz off to the right, completes it to Tim White. He's across the Hamilton 45, maybe to the 46. And a gang tackle there by the Alouettes. Hamilton 0.4 to points against differential in the fourth quarter this season. They're minus 91. They've allowed their most points. They have not won a fourth quarter on the road this season. All of that has to change now if they hope to make it to the East Final. 2nd and 4 for the Tiger Cats from their own 46-yard line. Matt Schultz in at quarterback. Looks to his left, gets the snap, and throws to his left. It's a high pass. Jumping up to get it is Lamar Durant. He gets across midfield. It's a first down for the Tiger Cats. Tiger Cats keep it rolling with an active Green and Ross first down.
Looks a little bit different right now. Matt Schultz, again, he's comfortable. They've got a first down now after a couple stuttering drives there. But, boy, it looks different on the defensive front, too. Back-to-back drives. Micah Johnson and Ted Laurent, the two big guys in the middle, both get a sack to stop Trevor Harris. Might be changing it. They might be able to turn it around. They still got work to do.
Well, work to do. First catch of the game for Lamar Durant. Matt Schultz has used 4 different receivers since he's been in. Fresh set of downs for the Tiger Cats. They're across midfield, Montreal 52-yard line. A low pass, it's complete. Stephen Dunbar makes the catch. And that's another first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
Great job by Schultz there. He had the throw, but he did a great job of slowing down Stephen Dunbar. He brought him down to the turf with the ball as he's running into Alouette traffic. No need to keep him upright to take a hit there, and he protects the first down and protects Dunbar.
17-yard catch for Dunbar. He has a touchdown in the game. Matt Schultz now up to the Montreal 35. He swings it off to the right. This is Tyler Turnowski. He gets across the 30, breaks a couple of tackles. He's hit hard by Adarius Pickett, but not until he gets inside the 30-yard line.
Well, the second half, now all of a sudden everybody's getting involved. Anthony Johnson on that first touchdown drive of the third quarter gets 3 receptions. You see Durant, and then now you see Turnowski on a bubble, and it's a good, strong run. Follows his blocks, lets the blocks develop. Just really, really great balance now we're seeing for the offense.
Only 2 Tiger Cats had caught a pass in that opening half. They're up to 6 who have a pass so far in the game now. 2nd and 4 for Hamilton. They're trailing by 11 points early in the fourth quarter. Matt Schultz has led this drive down to the Montreal 29-yard line. Schultz gets the snap. It's a little bit high. Play action to Hills. Now the pressure comes. He had to get rid of it quickly, and he could not complete it to Felix Gauthier. It is incomplete, and we're likely going to see Seth Small.
Yeah, I mean, you're stuck back at an 11-point game now, so it's an interesting spread again after that bouncing in field goal from the Alouettes. And boy, the Alouette defense there just brought everybody, and Matt Schultz trying to get an accurate pass, but effectively having to jump and throw to avoid the sack.
Seth Small, the all-star kicker in the East Division. He's 2 for 2 in this game. This is a 35-yard field goal attempt. The snap held by Matt Schultz, and Seth Small, automatic 3 for 3 in this game. The 23-year-old not fazed by the playoffs, and that turns this back into a 1-score game. Tiger Cats back down by 8 points. It's 25-17, and we're early in the fourth quarter. A dramatic finish ahead in the Eastern semifinal from Montreal. You're listening to the Ticats Audio Network. 11:35 to go in the football game. Montreal leads 25-17. That's 8 points. That's a 1-possession game. Montreal, 4 straight drives where they've run 2 offensive plays. One of them resulted in a field goal, but that was courtesy of a great return by Chandler Worthy. So the Hamilton defense has held Montreal in check. They have to do it again. Tiger Cats still trail with 11:27 to go in the football game. Hand off to Stanback. Takes his time as he gets to the line of scrimmage and tries to burst out to the right, but can't get much, maybe 2 or 3 yards.
Man, if this Ticat defense can come up with another 2 and out here, they've changed it around in the second half with so much more success stopping Trevor Harris. If they can get another one right here, I mean, you almost expect it. They've had the ability to keep the team in games at times.
So it was a 4-yard gain for Stanback. Ball's on the Montreal 44. It's 2nd and 6. We'll see what this Tiger Cats defense can do. Trevor Harris gets the snap. It was low, no problem. Stays in the pocket, completes the pass to Jake Winicky. He had to jump up in front of Cariel Brooks. Made the catch at the 50 and had just enough for the first down. He needed to get to the 50. He got to the 51, so Winicky knew exactly where he needed to be.
Yeah, smart. Little kind of hitched up and then did a little shake and came across the middle there. Right, you're right at the proper depth. That's what the Montreal Alouettes and Trevor Harris expect from Jake Winicky. That knowledge and the ability to be right at the right place to keep a drive alive.
Just over 10 minutes to go in the game. Montreal leads by 8. They're on their own 51-yard line. Walter Fletcher trying to run to the outside. Broke 1 tackle of Malik Carney, but Micah Johnson and Simone Lawrence right there to bring him down right at the line of scrimmage. There is a flag in the Montreal backfield.
This is going to come back on holding on Montreal. It was a good run stop already, even with the holding.
Montreal number 55. 10-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Good eyes, Luke. That's Landon Rice, the all-star for Montreal, one of 2 all-stars on offense for the Alouettes. The other one was Eugene Lewis. That's part of the reason Malik Carney couldn't make the tackle. The hold by Rice. Tiger Cats had 3 All-Stars on offense. Brandon Revenberg and the 2 1,000-yard receivers, Tim White and Stephen Dunbar. Here's a 1st and 20 for Montreal. They're pushed back to their own 41. It's a handoff to Standback, who pretty much gets those 10 yards back. Looks like he'll be close to the Montreal 51. They might spot it at the 50.
Well, with the success that the Ticat defense has found in the second half, this would be a great stop for them to keep this going. It's a 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 11 after that penalty, and Trevor Harris is looking to reestablish some rhythm here. Big play.
The clock a factor as well. 9 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in the game. The clock is running. 2nd and 11 for the Alouettes. They're on their own 50. Tiger Cats desperate to get the ball back, down by 8. Harris has lots of time in the pocket. Throws to his right. Jake Winicky can't make the catch. Tunde Adeleke, another Tiger Cat All-Star. The safety comes over and knocks it away from Winicky, and the Alouettes will have to punt.
Just an amazing pass break up here. This is Tunde Adeleke taking out space, closing in on it. He's in man coverage in this defense with Stavros Katsantonis back as the free safety. So Tunde's up here like a corner or a halfback. Trail technique, plays it perfectly. Good timing with his hands.
Lawrence Woods, 3 punt returns in the game, 7.7 yards on average on returns. Needs more than that here. 8-point deficit for the Tiger Cats. Zima scoops it off to his left, and Woods was expecting it to go to the right. So he lets that ball settle at the Hamilton 5 and trying to follow the blocking of Keandre Smith, but the Alouettes were having none of it. They got to Woods quickly, maybe got to the Hamilton 12, but there is a flag on the play.
Boy, that's just really, really no success in the return game. They cannot help themselves out by getting some breathing room. They've been backed up too many times in this game this afternoon, and they just haven't been able to have that Lawrence Woods big explosive return yet.
Contacting the kicker, Hamilton, number 48. It's a third down. It's a 10-yard penalty. It remains 3rd down.
Wow.
Cedric Wilcox.
So this is really interesting, RJ. What is Montreal going to do here? It looks like it's going to be 3rd and 1. If I were them, I'd go for it. I'd run your short yardage package now. You get that gift from you. It was 3rd and 11. So anything less than it would be a 1st down now, but that's a 10-yard penalty, but not an automatic 1st down. They've got a decision to make here. If I was them, boy, you can really, this would be punishing for them to run this short yardage and get this 1st down, keeping this drive alive. That penalty right there was the 6th for the Ticats for 40 yards total in penalties. Montreal's had 5 for 55 yards, but this one carries some weight, this penalty.
Tyrese Beverett is down, getting attention by the Montreal training staff. We'll take a break. It's 25-17, a big 3rd down coming up for Montreal. Stick around. This is the Ticats Audio Network. In Montreal for the Eastern semifinal, 8:34 to go. Montreal leads 25-17, and contacting the kicker penalty on Cedric Wilcox has made things a little bit interesting. Montreal had to punt, but now instead of a 3rd and 11, it's 3rd and 1, and it looks like they are going to go for it. Into the game is Dominic Davis, the short yardage specialist for the Alouettes.
Well, they had fielded that punt with really bad field position. If you could make the short yardage stop right now, that would really flip the script.
3rd and 1 from the Hamilton 50. Davis under center, trying to get that 1st down. Wow. I don't know if he did it. Tiger Cats might have stopped him. The Tiger Cats defense is celebrating. Richard Leonard was a big part of that. And have they indicated yet? I don't think he got that yard, Luke. All depends on the spot. And it looks like they're putting it at the 50. He needed to get to the 51.
That's
a turnover on downs.
Play.
What a great penalty by Cedric Wilcox.
Well, I mean, a 35-yard swing because of that penalty and then the short yardage stop. The defense coming up with the biggest play that they've made all night. That's bigger than the interception in the first half. That's bigger than everything. That was a crucial error and a turnover on downs by the Montreal Alouettes, failing to convert the 1 yard short yardage situation. Here you go, Matt Schultz, it's time. You've got 60 yards to go, and you've got to go get 7.
And there's 7:45 to go in the game. The clock is running. What a dramatic finish in this Eastern semifinal. Plenty of movement for the Tiger Cats before this ball is snapped. Matt Schultz, he'll drop back to pass. The pressure's coming. He gets away from the first wave. Can't get away from the second wave. He'll be brought down at the Hamilton 45.
Boy, you thought for a second he was going to be able to escape that, but Alouettes, like they have all night, really, really great job bringing the pressure. I said they need to drive down at 7. Should probably get 8, actually.
Yeah.
It's 17-25. It's a one-score game, though, and they've got a chance with it here after that short yardage, but this is a tough second down, RJ.
We knew what you meant. They need a touchdown to begin with.
Yeah.
About 7 minutes to go in the game. The clock is running. Alouettes, pretty good crowd at Molson Stadium, trying to be loud. 2nd and 13 after Matt Schultz was sacked. Hamilton has the ball at their own 47. Big 2nd and long in this football game. Schultz with time, throws, completes it. Stephen Dunbar down to the Montreal 40. A first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
Wow. And he is jacked up, and he should be. All of a sudden in the second half, Stephen Dunbar Jr. has been hugely impactful on this game. Matt Schultz putting that is such a perfect throw, RJ. Great stutter by Stephen Dunbar, and it just floats into his hands over that under coverage. Huge play.
Stephen Dunbar got exactly 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season. He didn't have a reception. In the opening half, has 52 yards in the second half and a touchdown. Fresh set of downs from the Montreal 40. Schultz with time, going deep again, down on the near sideline. Oh, it's picked off. It is picked off by Mike Jones. It was intended for Tim White, and the Montreal defense comes up with the interception. Mike Jones picked it off.
Boy, that's tough. It's unfortunate. You can't. The truth about it is you can't read every wide receiver on every play, but Tyler Tarnowski's canceling up the middle of the field, blowing off the top of the coverage, and he was all alone back there. It's just unexpected, and you can't make the full read. Really unfortunate turnover.
Ball pretty deep in Montreal territory. They'll start from their own 10. There's just under 6 minutes to go. Tiger Cats defense will have to come up big. Ticats trail by 8. You're listening to the Ticats Audio Network. It has been an exciting Eastern semifinal. Tiger Cats trail by 8 after an interception. Montreal takes over at their own 10, and Walter Fletcher runs up the middle. It's a big gain, and it'll be a first down for Montreal. He'll be right around the Montreal 25, so that gives the Alouettes some breathing room from their own goal line.
Yeah, big run there. Interesting turn of events over the last couple minutes, though. Ticats look to be pinned back in their own end.
Yep.
The penalty gives Alouettes a new third down opportunity, and they turn it over on downs, followed by the interception. But the truth of the matter is, we thought Ticats were pinned in their own end. A couple minutes later, Alouettes are pinned in their own end, and they flipped the field at least. There's still time for the Ticats to climb back. You've got 8 points in 5 minutes to go.
That's only the Alouettes' second first down in this half. And they got it on the ground against this tough run defense of the Tiger Cats. Simone Lawrence throws a big hit on William Standback, and that stopped him, but he got a pretty good chunk on first down. Be second down for the Alouettes. And 3 yards after that 7-yard carry by Standback. The defense is needed for the Tiger Cats now. 4 minutes, 35 seconds. The clock is running. That's all that remains in the game, and Montreal leads 25-17. Trevor Harris calls for the snap. They keep it on the ground again, and Standback straight up the middle. He'll have enough for the first down. Tunde Adeleke makes the tackle, but the clock continues to be an enemy of the Tiger Cats as Montreal gets a fresh set of downs, and they keep the ball on the ground.
That's right. They're keeping it on the ground and eating away the clock. Also taking off big chunks in the run game right now, way more than they've been able to in for this second half until this point. Now they've just climbed down the field and out of their own end where they started this drive.
Alouettes led 22-6 at the half. Hamilton has outscored Montreal 11-3 in the second half, but it's not enough. Still an 8-point lead for Montreal, and right back to stand back, and he'll get another 3 or 4 yards up to the Montreal 50-yard line, or very close to.
Timeout, Hamilton.
Tiger Cats call a timeout, 3:35 on the clock, so a little prior to the 3-minute warning. 8-point deficit for the Tiger Cats, and it'll be a 2nd and 6 coming up for the Alouettes from their own 49-yard line. This defense has been relied upon all season long for the Tiger Cats. They need a big stop here on 2nd down, Luke.
And they've had a great second half. And this drive now, Trevor Harris starting to, establish and gain yards slowly here and there and on the ground, like we've said. But this is a big, big second down right here. If they get another set of downs, yes, we bleed more time. You get into the 3-minute warning, but also now you're going to get pinned deep here eventually. And then, of course, you'll move into field goal range. They've got to stop this here and force the punt before they can get into that field goal range. You're probably, RJ, 10 yards shy of field goal range at this point.
Yeah, it's a great point, Luke. Cannot allow Montreal to get any more points. There's just not enough time, or maybe not enough time. You never know in the CFL. 3:38 officially on the clock. Hamilton called the timeout. 2nd and 6 for the Alouettes from their own 49. Trevor Harris gets the snap, drops back, and he is sacked.
Wow.
Julian Hauser, another one of the Tiger Cats defensive all-stars, comes up with a sack, and the defense had to do it, and they did it thanks to Hauser.
You talk about a big-time player at a big moment in the game. It's not only forcing the punt, preventing the first down, it's a 10-yard loss as well. Because, RJ, a single in the punt game right now is potentially a dagger.
Right.
It turns that into a 9-point game, and now you prevent that short of a boom here. But this would be a really difficult single, and Lawrence Woods will, of course, be able to take it out of the end zone if it were to get that deep. Julian Hauser, that is unbelievable football.
7 tackles and a sack for Julian Hauser. Another big game for big number 95 of the Tiger Cats. 2:43 on the clock, and Joseph Zima is taking every second he can. The punt will bounce, and it'll stop at the 20. Lawrence Woods picks it up, and running along the sidelines, he was just angled out of bounds. There's 2 minutes and 31 seconds to go in the football game. The Tiger Cats will have the ball when we come back. They trail by 8. Big finish. Tiger Cats trying to keep their season alive. You're listening to the Ticats Audio Network. Great to have you all season long on the Ticats Audio Network. RJ Broadhead with Luke Tasker. There's 2.5 minutes to go in the game, and the Tiger Cats trail by 8. Beginning this drive on their own 29. Matt Schultz gets the snap, throws to his left, completes it to Anthony Johnson. It's a first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
Great play. Little hitch to the outside. Anthony Johnson, really good timing by Matt Schultz. He knew he had it. And that hitch to the far side of the field, you've got to get the ball out really quickly so that you don't waste time as that receiver hits the top of his route, and he turns upfield for the first down, gets out of bounds.
Anthony Johnson had no receptions in the opening half. He has 4 in the second half for 33 yards, and he's caught a 2-point conversion. Hamilton down by 8, way offside on that play. I think it was Johnson.
Well,
so
this will be the third time, if it is Johnson, the third time that we've seen the Hamilton receiving corps.
Offside. Hamilton number 34. It's a 5-yard penalty.
It was Wes Hills, I guess.
I saw the 4, so Wes Hills was in the waggle. 1st and 15 now for the Tiger Cats. This will push them back. The clock has 2 minutes and 20 seconds on it. Tiger Cats are on their own 36. Schultz in the pocket. He's hammered. The ball's loose. Montreal has the football. Matt Schultz was hit. The ball came loose. Looks like Tyrese Beverett threw the hit, and Schultz fumbled. Montreal has it inside the Hamilton 25-yard line. With 2 minutes and 14 seconds to go, it's a costly turnover.
It'll be Montreal ball, and they're in field goal range already. Tyrese Beverett boy, unbelievable timing on his blitz from will linebacker position. It's clean, it's shoulder pad to shoulder pad, and he hands on the ball. That's a former Ticat right there. He's jacked up about that play, and he's been making plays throughout the game. Really impressive job by Beverett. And the timing, you know, that's that perfect blitz. Like, you can't get much better there, and there's not much that Matt Schultz can do. You hope to hold on to the football, but boy, it was just impeccable timing.
2 minutes and 14 seconds to go. Montreal has the football on the Hamilton 24. There is a challenge. Coach O has the red challenge flag out.
A hit to the head, I guess you could.
Hamilton is challenging the previous play for roughing the passer. The play will be reviewed.
Well, you've got to.
Desperation. You got to try it.
Because it was a violent hit. Like, it was a really good football hit. I really think he got his right shoulder pad on Matt Schultz' left shoulder pad. I just don't see how this can get overturned, but of course, give it a shot, right?
Coach O, 7 for 10 in challenges this season, and you know, slow motion replay sometimes changes real speed.
And because the reason that you can justify the challenge is because it is just such a hard hit. It's just such a hard tackle, and Matt Schultz certainly gets jolted, you know, but I don't think the contact is enough to the face mask or helmet to justify the penalty. It's just a great play by Beverett.
Well, it is worth a challenge because there is some contact to the face mask of Matt Schultz.
And because the Ticats will have the ball back in this game. It's just that the Montreal Alouettes are in field goal range, and so at a reasonable make for a field goal, that they're going to put it to a 2-score game, which is the problem. But the Ticats are going to get another chance. You're going to be out there on the field again.
Montreal leads 25-17. That's 8 points. Right now it's a one-possession game. If Montreal keeps this football, they're on the Hamilton 24, and Tim Croker, the referee, has the decision. Let's have a listen.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
So you were right, Luke, just not enough to overturn it. Orlando had to try the challenge, though. It was worth the chance.
You know, you take another look at it, too. Beverett comes up into the box late, and the offensive line for the Ticats, they're man on man. They've picked up everyone in there. He adds into it, and there's nobody left for him. It's just well timed on his part.
Montreal on the Hamilton 34. They're going to keep this on the ground, and a pretty good run. Cam Kelly, little help from Ted Laurent, bring down William Stanback, but he will get about to the 17-yard line of the Tiger Cats.
Picking up the audio there from Beverett on the Montreal sidelines, and you watch that blitz again. It's 9 full speed strides from way deep in the linebacker level. That timing, you can't pick it up. It's almost like he takes a chance of going off sides. He's just going to take a chance.
Yeah.
And he times it perfect.
Big plays at big times. That was a big one. Again, on the ground for the Alouettes on this 2nd and 3. Stanback. Oh, he gets a little help from the offensive line. Lestage got behind Stanback. Looks like he was going to be stopped short of the first down and pushed him ahead. Montreal will get the first down. And that's trouble for the Tiger Cats because Montreal's looking at more points. They're up by 8 right now, and they're going to take more time off the clock.
Well, you know, you got to put it all on the line right now. The way that you give yourselves the best chance, forcing a turnover. You got to get your hatchet out, the proverbial hatchet, they say. When you tackle, you got to come in with a haymaker at the ball, try to get it loose. They're not going to be throwing it right now. They're going to run this down, knowing that they're in field goal range, of course. Stanback
to the right of Trevor Harris. And as predicted, he gets the football, runs to his left, cuts up the middle. Stanback inside the 5. Finally tackled by Adeleke, just a couple of yards short of the end zone. Not only is Montreal taking time off the clock, but they might not have to settle for a field goal here. They're looking touchdown, and that would be big trouble for the Tiger Cats. Montreal with 136 yards rushing in the game against the league's #1 run defense. Fletcher with 68 yards, Standback with 66 yards. So they've used those two a lot. It's a 2nd and 2 from the Hamilton 3. Trevor Harris taking as much time as he can. There's under a minute to go. This is a handoff to Fletcher. Stutter steps at the line. He dives. He's in the end zone. There are flags, numerous flags. Jovan Santos Knox has lost his helmet. Fletcher is in the end zone. So if this is on Hamilton, it's a touchdown. And it looks like it's going to be on Montreal.
Yeah, holding's going to take him back.
But you don't get any of that time back.
Right.
And that time's important.
Legal block, hands to the face. Montreal number 51. This is a 10-yard penalty. It remains 2nd down.
So still 2nd down. So now, you know, you make this stop. And again, the trouble is, and you're going to go for an all-out block, you know, and as rare as we have not seen a lot of field goal blocks across the league this year, and it's going to take a special play like that for the Ticats to give themselves a chance.
47 seconds remains in the football game. Montreal leads by 8. It's a 2nd and 12. They're on the Hamilton 13. Shirley in field goal range. They go to the ground again. Walter Fletcher across the 10, down to the 5. Cariel Brooks, Malik Carney trying to get the ball away from Fletcher, but he had both arms on it and was not going to let the Tiger Cats get it. It is 3rd down. There's 37 seconds to go. Montreal, in all likelihood, will kick a field goal here.
We saw earlier in the year a pyramiding call on a field goal block, if you remember back
yes,
that far.
on Cam Kelly.
You can't use another player's body to project yourself up into the air to try to block it. In fact, you have to land safely as well. But in this moment right now, that you got to do everything you can. Well, this is interesting.
So Trevor Harris is staying on the field. It's 3rd and 3 with 37 seconds to go. The clock is running.
Yeah, you know, this is actually a good decision. You know, a blocked field goal can turn into a touchdown pretty easily, right? So I guess they're going to run the clock down, knowing that the Ticats would need a touchdown in the 2-point conversion anyways. They're going to be able to bring this clock
down to 17 seconds. We'll see officially what the final stoppage is there. Right now there's 18 seconds. And the horns in Montreal are loud. The Alouettes lead by 8. Not much time to go. The Eastern semifinal is looking like the home team Alouettes are going to win unless something miraculous can happen for the Tiger Cats. David Cote barely made his last field goal. From 33 yards, it hit the left upright and took a Montreal bounce straight through.
I actually wouldn't be surprised to see them kick this wide of the field goal out of the end zone. You avoid hitting the upright, and you can more reasonably avoid getting it blocked as well. Because if you change this to a 9-point game, that's all the same as an 11-point game at this point. So all you need is the single, but you certainly can't hit the upright because, you know. So, but we'll see. Of course, it's such a makeable distance that they're probably not going to overthink this one.
Yeah, it's 12 yards for David Cote. Should be a little chip shot for Cote, who's an excellent kicker for the Alouettes. 8-point lead, trying to make it 11. And Cote kicks it through, so the Alouettes lead by 11 with 16 seconds to go. Tiger Cats season on the line. It's now a 2-possession game, so the Tiger Cats, it's looking bleak. We'll see what can happen. The winner of this game goes on to Toronto to face the Argonauts in the East Final. That'll be next Sunday. Tiger Cats trailed 22-6 at the half. It was a very quiet opening half for the Tiger Cats. They managed to outscore the Alouettes in the second half 11-6. But they still trail by 11.
Well, really impressive play there by Tyrese Beverett to kind of end the last chance that the Ticats had. But the Ticats ended up finding what they needed to find in this game too late. You know, the first half was effectively useless, and they got themselves dug into a hole. And by the time they got their rhythm on offense and they started stopping Trevor Harris on defense, there was just too much work to be done with not enough time. Thought Matt Schultz came in and really started operating at a pretty good level there. And of course, a number of 2-and-outs in the second half by the Ticat defense.
Montreal had only 87 yards offense in the second half.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, really amazing.
David Cote kicked a couple of field goals, one off the left upright and barely through. But it is an 11-point lead and a squib kick here from the Alouettes. This will roll to Woods. Picks it up at his own 30. He's across the 40, the 45, and up to the 50. And that will take a few more seconds off the clock. Took 5 seconds, so now there's 11 seconds to go. Tiger Cats trail by 11 with 11 seconds. What do you do here, Luke? You pretty much have to make something happen immediately and then get the onside kick.
Yeah, I'm thinking even with perfect play, it's kind of, I think it might be mathematically impossible just to even get those yards in the time that you have, but you got to go for the end zone right now.
Need a little luck. Matt Schultz drops back, pressured, so he has to run out of the pocket. He is throwing deep. A lot of players right there, and nobody comes up with it. It was a jump ball, and Adarius Pickett was close to picking it, but he couldn't make the catch. It's incomplete. There's 1 second on the clock, and that's not enough time to get 2 scores, which the Tiger Cats need. They're down by 11. And the Alouettes start celebrating on their sideline. Tiger Cats dug a hole in that opening half. That 22-6 16-point deficit was their biggest deficit in the opening half. Tried to come back in the second half, couldn't do it. So this will likely be the last play of the football game. Schultz takes a look around. He throws deep again in a pile of people, and again, the ball is not caught. It's incomplete. Football game is over. The Alouettes win. They advance to the East Final, and the Tiger Cats season is over. An interesting season for the Tiger Cats. Started slow, finished well in the regular season, but just could not get the victory in Montreal. The Alouettes, pretty good game plan. Their defense really stepped up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tale of 2 halves entirely, offense and defense. You know, they ended up winning that second half. I mean, they did what they did what they needed to do, and they found themselves, but huge plays here and there. You know, the play of the game was that Tyrese Beverett blitz and sack fumble that really was the last opportunity for the Ticats to get a legitimate chance to win the game. And I know the feeling so well on both sides of the field right now. The Alouettes defending their home field, they earned the right to play this game in Montreal. And now they get a chance to go and be the away team and try to take down first in the East Toronto Argonauts. And then, of course, the Ticats, and a feeling I unfortunately know there as well.
Well, time now for the Access Storage recap of the game. Score a touchdown with affordable storage. Access Storage has flexible storage solutions at a store near you. Try 4 weeks free. Details at accessstorage.ca. And the first half in favor of the Alouettes, it was enough of an advantage to continue to carry it over into the second half. They get the victory 28-17. Where do you see this game falling out of the hands of the Tiger Cats, Luke?
Yeah, I mean, it happened early. You know, the Trevor Harris had a really incredible first half, and then the Ticats defense answered, and they found rhythm, and they were able to get off the field, get Trevor Harris off the field, and at that same time, Matt Schultz took over offensively for the Ticats and really did a good job. It's sort of unfortunate to think that this season started off with some injury and controversy at the quarterback position, and then in the Eastern semifinal, that's still sort of the story and the talking points. It's just maybe some lack of consistency when you have two guys that at times both played well, and so it's hard, and they had to go back and forth all year. But in this game, Matt Schultz came in and played well, but just there was too much to be done. I think the battle of the battle of the line of scrimmage was really interesting tonight, and it ebbed and flowed, but for the most part, the Montreal Alouettes, I think won that battle. The pressure was substantial on the Ticat quarterbacks who were in the game, and it was too much to overcome. And sad to see these Ticats in this season end. You hope for that chance to go to Toronto, back to the same field where you won the Eastern Final last year, and a chance to do it all again. But the Montreal Alouettes earned it, and you got to give it to them. They did play. They made more plays tonight than the Ticats did.
Tiger Cats, for them, it was a battle all season long. They managed to put things together late to get into the postseason and came close in the East semifinal, but could not defeat Montreal. We appreciate everybody who listened throughout the season on the Ticats Audio Network, and certainly those who worked on the Ticats Audio Network did a great job. I want to just mention a few names: Andy Fantus, Bubba O'Neill, Coach Sal, Courtney Stephen, Mike Daly, David Butko, Jeff Girardak, Greg Hood, Michael Steyer, Louis Butko, Mike Moriali, Rob Hitchcock, Luke Vermeer, Natalie Sexton. Our executive producer, Peter McEwen, Dave Cadeau, has done such a great job over the last couple of years. Matt Affinek, Scott Mitchell, and of course, Bob Young, all instrumental in the Ticats Audio Network. And we're looking forward to bringing you Ticats football again next season. Of course, for Luke Tasker, I'm RJ Broadhead. The Alouettes beat the Tiger Cats in the East semifinal 28-17. Tiger Cats postgame with Bubba O'Neill and Andy Fantus is coming up next.
Ticats Audio Network.